Okay.
I see 3 cows, which is okay with me, but I don't see anything else. Well, let me jump out and rejoin.
All right.
Nope, I'm good. Well, Jay's not showing up, but I think we're actually live. I don't know why the hell it kicked me out. Like 2 or 3 days, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been all day.
Are we there?
I believe so. I'm sharing.
Awesome. Some awesome hair there. I can't help it. I don't do anything. It just says what it does. All right.
Sorry.
Oh, shit.
I made some more cheese. So just a minute.
I got something to bring up when we got a minute.
Dave said it's back, so we're there.
Hey, Dave.
All right.
They can see
Hi,
and hear
Dave.
us apparently.
Ugh.
I can't plug it on.
We should call ourselves the three handsomest men on radio.
We should. I'd back that up.
What?
Play the toilet, not cheat on.
People are coming in.
Yeah, they can see us.
I'm hearing you. So
Is that Cora?
We're good. Is Cora there? I don't know. Give me 1 second. I'm not seeing. The only person I see on chat is Dave.
I'm brewing coffee. You know, just so you know, that's what these motions are. Got my tab here. Just brewing my tea. Don't get excited.
speaking of getting excited, may as well start with this one.
Okay.
Some of you might know nutria are a problem in Louisiana. In fact, Louisiana has a bounty on them, $5 per. And they're pretty easy to kill. I mean, you can kill them with a 177 air rifle, or bigger if you want to go bigger. I mean, you don't really need to. They're also decent eating, apparently. It's a nutria gumbo. I saw a recipe for that years and years ago. But they are an invasive species, and they like to eat just about everything. And they are an environmentally destructive invasive species. They're not one that's going to invade, find a niche, and just kind of stay. No, they're one that is invading and destroying everything around them. They are an absolute menace, and there are efforts to eradicate them, but they are marginally successful because these things can reproduce to almost 40 pups a year. Yeah. Yeah. Well, a bunch of them have made it all the way to San Francisco.
Yeah, well,
Really?
I'd love to see some coming across my back door. I'd love to put them on a smoker.
Well, they're edible. I'm just saying, San Francisco's rats have upgraded.
Yeah, Mom.
They lost the 140-pound one, and now they've got tons and tons of 20-pound ones. Thousands of them have been spotted in the city. Thousands.
Yep. Shit hits the fan, 20-pound rat. I'd eat it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
we'll do it.
It is from the order Rodentia, but it is supposedly very edible. Like, one guy described it as tasting a bit like pork, which is unusual because everybody says everything tastes like chicken. No, one guy said it tastes a little more like pork. Okay, I mean the Cajuns have the Cajuns have a legit jambalaya recipe and gumbo recipe for nutria.
I bet it tastes good if
if they're going that far, it's got to be good.
Well, don't the Cajuns have a recipe for anything? They just throw a bunch of hot sauce on shit and throw it on the smoker.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they usually don't officially make jambalaya and gumbo recipes for anything but good meat. Like they do it for gator. You know, the
Yeah.
gator jambalaya, gator gumbo. They've got that fish gumbo. You know, those are a thing. But you know, finding out they had Nutria gumbo, that was a trip. That was nice. So, but yeah, so San Francisco is dealing when these things get to be up to about 20 pounds, and they have very large, bright orange teeth, and they can chew through just about anything. If you
Hold
thought
on there.
mice were a
Slow down.
problem,
Like a-
making
so it's
little
like a
quarter-sized
miniature
holes in your
capybara.
house. Oh, capybaras are way bigger.
Yes, I said it's a
suckers
miniature
still-
capybara.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does kind of look like a miniature capybara. But yeah, now imagine one of these things burrowing a hole in your house the size of a softball.
Yeah, just like an
It would get
armadillo over here.
Mm.
It's crazy. They're hard
It
to
would get
catch
shot.
too. You can set up traps if you know where they're going through at night.
Mm.
They only come out at night. They're a major problem. Huge holes undermine your foundation. No, definitely not good.
Doesn't sound it. So, yeah, we keep introducing all kinds of invasive species over here, and it's changing our ecology. It really is.
Well, that's just the nature of global shipping. I mean, we lost the plot on that decades and decades, hundreds of years ago. I mean, you know, we didn't think about it way back when. You know, how many species were introduced to North America from Europe intentionally? And how many, not just plants, but animals too, you know?
And viruses.
And then you've got the Africanized bees. Those things were genetically modified, mind you, through more traditional methods of crossbreeding instead of direct genetic manipulation like in a lab. But you know, we've got it, just having invasive species invade new areas is just something that happens just because we ship stuff globally. It's not going to stop. I mean, you know, we could try and put fantastic measures in place today, but it's not going to stop. Those suckers will find a way on no matter what you do. Spiders, bees, mice, birds, you know, it don't matter.
Certain plant seeds blow in.
Viruses, germs. All of
Yeah,
it.
we know that one too well, don't we?
We
That's
do.
the nature of globalization. Shit gets imported whether you like it or not. The only thing you can really do is try to manage it. Like they went all out to eliminate the Asian giant hornet in North America because of how dangerous those things are. It's fairly easy. The Japanese even have a special method for it, where they
Cage.
well, what they do is they capture one of these things, and they're about that big. They're fucking huge. What they will do is they will actually tie a string with a white piece of paper coming off the string, and then let that sucker go, and it'll carry that thing all the way back to the hive. And they just follow the white little piece of paper.
It tells them where the hive is, and they go in and destroy it after dark, usually.
Another method to get rid of them, Japanese bee farmer showed this on YouTube. Get yourself one of those plastic-bottomed, really solid mouse glue traps. You know, the ones that don't move around so easily. Capture one hornet, however you can, and then stick it onto the very middle of that trap. The thing is when those suckers are in danger, they put off a pheromone that says, "Come help me." So what happens is all of its nest mates start coming to help it, and they get naturally stuck on the glue. And then they send out more pheromones saying, "Come help me." So more of them join them, and it just keeps going and going and going until the glue trap is full or the nest is empty, whichever comes first. And then you can just pluck one out and start all over again.
Yeah, I don't know that I would not be trying that without having the proper beekeeping equipment on.
Oh, beekeeping equipment won't save you from an Asian giant hornet. They can sting straight through most of it. You'd have to be wearing a leather suit. And I don't mean a gimp suit. I mean one made of real rawhide leather to protect against their stings, because their stings are that bad. And what's bad is that they remember faces. They have enough memory to remember what you look like. So if you piss them off, they will remember you if they get away. And they will teach your face to the next generation. So you can flick one of those suckers off you real hard, not kill it. It flies back to the next. 10 years later, a swarm of those motherfuckers show up at your door. Be like, yeah, remember what you did to our great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpappy? Yeah, well, we're about to do the same to you.
Yeah, our genes tell us to not like you.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the plus side, I also saw a video of a guy who tamed a nest of these fuckers by giving them food. He gave them some kind of syrup mixture, and they actually will land on his hand. He can pet them, and it's nuts. So I guess in the same way we managed to tame wolves, this guy's taming Asian giant hornets.
Animal Farm's here. She said she's watching the Butler rally.
Ah, yes. The great President Trump is at the Butler rally. There was a statue made entirely out of nails of him doing his fist pump that was outside. Yeah. I saw a picture of it on patriots.win. It's actually pretty impressive. You know, it says that Trump is tough as nails, and he is. The other thing, and Jamie brought this up earlier. Yes, Jamie, this one's your fault. We got another tropical system in the freaking Gulf of Mexico. And it is heading, it is heading east towards Florida. Most of the spaghetti models have it cutting straight across Tampa Bay, at least as far as I've seen. And if they're as accurate on this one as they were on the last one, Central Florida is going to get hit, but it should only be a Cat 2. It's not going to get that strong for whatever reason. But it doesn't look like it's going to go and hit the same area that got hit before, but it's going to cut across and hit Central Florida. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have another hurricane disaster to deal with. Florida already got tagged once. It went straight up through around Tallahassee. Now it's going to go through Tampa and Orlando. Her friends down in Florida and Lakeland. It's going right in that direction.
There will be casualties.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can cross my fingers to say this thing is going to get higher. Yeah.
What the response will be.
Yeah.
Because everybody's watching now. We got this next thing coming. Are they going to fail on that too? Probably, because they're already failing. They're already failing on the first thing with North Carolina and the other states. It's not looking good.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we can rest well knowing that Marjorie Taylor Greene and a congressional panel are going to empanel themselves and rake the FEMA director over the coals. It's going to get worse than
a bunch more sound bites. Yay.
Yeah,
it's not going to matter.
Nothing will come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, they've almost spent $1 billion in the last 2 years on just illegal immigrants alone. I mean, they have immunity. I mean, they're going to get away with it. There's nobody to blame but them, but they'll get away with it. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do Animal Farm. I remember hurricanes in the past taking a left turn and going up and through up over towards Iowa and in that area before, causing lots of flooding up there.
Oh yeah, I've seen this before too. I've been studying tropical systems since about 90, 91, somewhere around there. I've seen systems do exactly this. When they slam into the Gulf Coast, they tend to go north and then hook back towards the west. Once they get above about the Alabama state line is usually when they hook to the west. And then they'll hit, if they have enough strength left in them, they'll hit southern Indiana, southern Illinois, maybe Ohio. It all depends upon where they come in and the angle they come in at. And it also depends on if there are any steering systems in the way. In this case, we had a low pressure system and a high pressure system acting like a pair of rapid fire brushes. You know, those things that you can put something into and it scrubs both sides real fast at the same time. That's exactly what was happening with this thing. It got sucked into that and shot around it. If it had formed or stayed further west, then it would have hit Texas instead. Problem is that those.
Are you more disturbed by what the storm did or what the response is? I'm more worried about what the response was, because that's totally controllable.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard. I heard. Now take this with a grain of salt because I only heard it from one person, but they're saying that they talked to someone that lives down there that has an Airbnb down there who went to a town meeting where they told him that they're not doing any recovery of bodies. All they're worrying about right now is they're going to bulldoze the entire city, bodies and everything, and nobody's allowed back on the property.
Yeah, that's happening. There's lithium up in them. There are hills. And guess who owns those lithium mines? BlackRock, Vanguard, all the usual suspects. All of our usual bestest friends own that shit up there, and they want to expand those mines, but they haven't been able to because people own the property around them. And, mineral rights are a thing, and they don't want to pay.
Yeah, mineral rights are a huge thing, actually. If even if I own my land, if somebody has mineral rights to my land, they can do whatever they want within reason. So I never even really owned my land. We had Indian land over in Kiefer, the original 180 acres, I think it was, or 360, something like that. I don't know. It got split up. But we had mineral rights too. So it made it really valuable because there was oil there and stuff like that. But there's a big difference between having mineral rights or owning the land.
Yep. And, a lot of those people up there own everything lock, stock, and barrel. So the companies have been wanting to expand their lithium operations for years, especially with the push towards EVs becoming a thing. Now they can.
Well, here's the thing. I don't understand why they're going to push for that right now, because EVs have been not popular. Most people don't believe in EVs at this point. They think it's a scam.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't understand why.
That's because the EU put out a government mandate requiring something like 50 or 60% of all cars sold in the EU per company to be EVs by 2035 or some shit like that. Basically, somebody out there is doing a stupid and forcing this on people. The UK especially is going full bore for EVs. So, I mean, you open up a lithium mine in the United States with those legal things in place, and there is absolutely no chance those legal things will ever get repealed. They may get modified, because there are a lot of car hobbyists up in the UK. They love cars almost as much as Americans do, if you find the right group of people. I'm hooked up with a couple of them, even though I'm not a car guy. But they, the thing is that all your daily drivers in the UK and other parts of Europe are going to be EVs by 2035. Even though France just recently came out with a report, they bought, I don't know how many hundreds of EVs for Paris civil authorities. Your average, sometimes I have to go out of the office and do things, civil level employee, we have crisis workers and shit over here in the US. But they have other workers that go out and do other things like evaluation surveys, things like that. Problem is that they bought them years ago and the batteries wore out. And they found out it would be far more expensive to replace the battery than replace the vehicle. So, it was not cost effective. And they have this massive graveyard in France of nothing but decommissioned Paris EVs whose batteries just don't hold a real good charge anymore. But course, the French government said, "Nope, we're going to do it again."
Well, because a lot of the car manufacturers are actually petitioning the governments now to relax that restriction because they know they're not going to be able to meet it.
At least here in the U.S. Over in Europe, they're
No,
like, yes.
even
yes,
in Europe,
no.
they're doing the same thing. Yep. In
Still,
Europe, they're doing the same thing. Do you watch the M guy from Australia?
what's that? I can barely hear you.
Have you ever seen the guy M guy from Australia?
No. Check my sound settings again.
No, it's probably me. Let me restart. I'll be right back.
No. It might be me. Let me check first.
I think you're
I can just
both
do this
good
with a little.
with me.
Okay, somebody say something.
I'm good.
There you go. Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
I knew.
It's
I knew it was
always
probably
you.
me.
It's always you.
Well,
it's never me.
well, yeah. Well, you've got a better beard than I do.
That's
I have
why
a
it's your
beard
fault.
disability.
That's why it's
I have a
always
beard
your fault.
disability.
It took me a long time. I can only grow hair on my face or my ass, pretty much. Like, look at my arms. It's ridiculous. My legs are no better. I got no hair. It took me a long time. I had to work really hard. I had to talk to it nice. I had to brush it and take care of it, nurture it.
You sure you're talking about your beard and not your ex?
Yeah, I'm totally talking about the beard. It's what got me as far as I had, or has over the last 4 years or so. When I decided to start growing it. I mean, this is 4 years, bro. Okay, like Chris at 4 years would be like,
Yeah.
probably down to his balls or something. It would be. That guy could grow facial hair like nobody's business. You know.
Well, after 1 year, I got stand up for this. I got it down to about here, but it was really stringy.
I'm gonna go have a smoke while we're talking.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna take you with me.
But of course. No, that lithium mine, though, that is, I mean, even if EVs don't pan out the way that governments are trying to force them to, you still got.
Go ahead.
Still got-
Sorry. I was
about to say, you still got laptop batteries, regular batteries, cell phone batteries, all that shit. They all need lithium. They all need lithium.
Yep. Have you heard? They were starting up a lithium mine, or not a lithium mine, a microchip silicon mine and stuff, right through the path of where the hurricane went. And
I'm not surprised.
before even the hurricane hit, they're like, hey, there could be a certain kind of contamination that could happen in the mine and make the silicone, not useful for many years. And then lo and behold, we have this thing happen. I'm not totally on board with that, but
Well,
only so many things that can happen all at the same time where you're like, well, let's just throw them all in the same basket,
Well, even if they're going to start up a mine, there's a lot of places you can start up a mine for that.
I'm sure there are.
But to me, it's looking like this disaster has become a very profitable venture for a lot of people. And it's more of they're taking advantage of the situation. A lot of disasters, man-made and natural, that happen. A lot of people will then come in and they will just absolutely be vultures, especially big companies. Like, oh shit, that happened over there. Well, crap, that means the people aren't there anymore. Let's get in there before anybody else can.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's some people's nature to be that way.
Oh yeah. Oh,
we all know
thing.
people like that.
Oh yeah. Another thing I wanted to bring up though, and this is interesting. This comes from truckers, which again I watch a couple of different channels about truckers. There, after every major disaster, there is a massive payday for every trucker in the region, because they are going to get contracted to bring in absolutely everything you can imagine, from food to toilets to toilet paper. There are no loads going to Asheville There are no
I
loads
mentioned
going
that.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
heard
no
about that.
loads going in. So,
They're
That's-
slashing truck tires that are trying to go down there.
Yeah, we got Biden taking credit for regular folk and these YouTube channels and stuff like that that are actually flying supplies in. And first of all, they're getting turned away, but the ones that were successful, like the fire department in a fire department in North Carolina that was actually connected, Biden took credit for it.
Yep.
So I hope it all comes out. We all got cameras in our pockets.
Mm-hmm. These days, everybody does.
Everybody.
So I have to ask a question here. I don't know if you can see. You guys can't see the chat, can you?
Yeah,
No, I can't.
I can.
Okay. So I asked a question in the chat because I was listening when I was restarting my phone. And my question is, so in 4 years, you think I'll be braiding my beard hair with my ball hair, huh, Jay?
It's possible. Very possible.
Hey, Ryan, welcome in, bud. How are you? Our Boyd is in the house. He's from South Carolina.
How's things going down there?
Well, Chris, I'm wondering if you could braid your beard hair with your pubic hairs, what would you use it for? What would be the purpose?
I was just being stupid. That's what I was saying for.
Me too, but now it's turned into a serious question. What would you use it for? Like a washboard? Could you play music with it? Stretch the time out.
Oh shit!
Good to see you're doing okay there, Boyd.
Yeah.
Hey, Boyd.
Good to hear from you. We were worried about you. I did send you a text a while back, and I haven't heard from you, so I was gonna check up on you again.
Oh man, my phone's hot as shit.
That's not good.
That's because you're forcing it to do things it doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't want to be on Rumble.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
want
have
to see it sweat a little bit.
You're gonna have to get one of them phone out external heat sink things at this rate.
Maybe. It's
Ryan
gonna
said,
cool off. It'll be fine. It's
Ryan said, I'm
hot
just south
here.
of Charlotte on high ground, doing okay so far, still working.
Good to hear.
All right. Turn the AC down. It's on 72. What am I thinking? Gotta put it on 70. Oh, wow. So, yeah, definitely heard about the truckers getting shut down. And aid basically being denied. The FEMA saying they don't have enough money after they spent $100 million over the last 2 years for immigrants. So that doesn't make anybody happy. They did say they could. Charlie, he's chasing a fly. Okay, so I also heard that they had enough money to cover everything right now with this disaster. But if they were to do that, they wouldn't have any more money for the rest of the season. Strangely enough, right after they said that, we got that storm in the Gulf. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, yes.
It's not looking good. A lot of red states.
Yes, the Federal Immigrant Moving Agency. Can't call them Federal Emergency Management Agency anymore. They ain't managing emergencies. They're moving immigrants.
Quit.
They're creating emergencies.
They are an emergency. They are a freaking disaster. I hope Trump gets in and Musk gets his head of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Oh, I hope he takes the axe to a lot of things in FEMA. See, I always thought that FEMA should not have completely supplanted the Civil Defense Agency, because Civil Defense was entirely local based. Everything was ground up with civil defense. That was the idea of it, that it didn't have to have a central organization telling it what to do. It would respond as it needed to local disasters and emergencies. And it could be anything from as small as a mine collapse to something as big as, a town destroying tornado. But civil defense would come out and provide aid as necessary and support. And it could be anything from, just providing food to the rescuers and other personnel on the ground to providing blankets, shelter, whatever the heck else, whatever they could scrape up from their own supplies. And Carter was the one who gave us FEMA. I understand, the desire to have everything kind of centralized, but FEMA should have more been like a hat on top of the civil defense organization that already existed, because we destroyed the entire civil defense organization to give us FEMA. And FEMA moved things to basically regional headquarters, and has been centralizing things more and more ever since. Now, if we still had the Civil Defense Agency, like we used to back in the 50s and 60s, all the way up to 78, they would have been on site the second this hurricane went through. And they would have been recovering, whatever they can first. Well, civilians would have been there first, but civil defense would have been the first organization to really get out there in any serious numbers. And they would have been providing some kind of support for these people, because they would have been, local based under local control. And everybody who's part of civil defense, that's your neighbors. That's literally your neighbors. So, if they aren't out there helping, or they aren't helping their own families, if they're just sitting on their thumbs doing shit, who,
they'll have to answer. That.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would.
Yeah, but they would have to answer for that. And now, since we have FEMA, we have people being imported from all over the area, all over, various other places that are federal employees that really can't get in trouble for a lot of shit, So we end up with a situation where these federal employees who don't have any kind of an investment in the area emotionally are being sent in, and then they're told to sit on their thumb. Okay, whatever. These aren't my people.
Yeah, where are they this time? They're not even there.
They're in luxury hotels.
They're there.
Yeah, they're in luxury hotels right now.
They're around somewhere.
Yeah. And if they're not there, then they're harassing churches and shit and stealing their supplies and money.
They're circle jerking is what they're doing.
Yeah.
We got to.
Did you know that if you take FEMA money, you have to pay it back?
Yep,
and if
I
you
did.
Don't, and if you don't pay it back, they can seize your property
or garnish your wages. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Do you think these immigrants that have unlimited cards, credit cards, debit cards, EBT cards for such and that, this and that, do you think they have to pay that back?
Nope.
Not at all. They don't have to pay back shit. They don't even have to have a job. It's gone. We're paying that money to them, and we can't get help for this disaster.
Jamie said Milton is expected to be a major hurricane now, so Cat 3 or 4.
Let me check that.
Great.
Let me check
That's
that.
exactly what we need right now.
Oh yeah. We've got an M. Yeah, it's going to be at least a 3, maybe a 4. Oh, it's going to be a big girl or a big boy, depending upon we can't tell the gender these days. What is a woman, right? Oh God, we're going to get at least a Cat 3. This is not going to be good.
No, it's not going to be good.
Yeah,
but I don't think. There's been rumors of like, hey, who can get out and vote and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I still don't think Florida or the other states that are devastated, I don't think it's going to change the vote. I hope it doesn't. It's my opinion. But the people, the devastation should be the same for a lot of the people. So whoever can get out there and vote, I hope it doesn't change the vote.
Well, Florida, that's pretty much a lock. It would take several Cat 5s to. Cat 5s would have to scour the dangly bit of Florida just left and right like all season in order to get rid of enough Republicans to flip that state. North Carolina is a little bit more iffy because they have the blue rot going on in their cities real bad. Asheville was called the San Francisco of the East by a lot of locals that I've been hearing from. And Asheville may be underwater, but they're going to find a way for those blue voters to vote. Whereas, all those counties west of it that are just completely devastated, well, guess we couldn't get too many votes out of them. It would make it, my point from earlier this morning was that it would make it far easier for them to cheat the vote. Because, you knock out, say, 30, 40,000 votes for Trump in a state with the population of North Carolina, and you're cheating in 10,000 to 20,000 extra votes, that's going to put them over the edge. They can swing North Carolina with just a little bit of cheating, small enough that it may be able to actually fly under the radar long enough for them to get away with it. So, just devastating those counties and leaving them devastated, leaving them without the ability to vote, and this is just barring access. I'm not even talking about if the state government, decides that they're going to betray everybody and pull some really freaky shenanigans by saying, oh, you know what, we can't verify the legality of the votes from these counties, so we're just not going to count those counties this time around. Don't worry, you'll get your vote back next time after we import 50 million more illegals into this country. Plus, by that point, your vote won't matter. We don't know if they're going to pull shenanigans like that. But just denying these people access on top of the people that are already dead that would likely have voted Trump anyway, they are allowing this disaster to fester as much and as best as they possibly can so that they can disenfranchise the people who would normally vote red. And even if those hill countries have fairly low populations, you're still talking, like I said, 10, 20, maybe even 30,000 Trump votes, and their cities aren't quite large enough to counterbalance the rural areas yet. Not quite. It's very close. That's why North Carolina is becoming a battleground state, because it's turning purple. Whether by one action or another, it's turning purple. Don't go into exactly why. We can do that another time.
Let's see where it goes now.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's going to be very interesting because you could lose 20, 30, 40,000 votes from the hills, but how many people from Asheville or the very fringe areas that would have voted for Kamala are looking up at the people up in the hills and be like, that could have been me. And the government isn't doing shit. That could have been me. Well, Trump's saying he won't let that sort of thing happen. Yeah, well, Harris let it happen. Maybe I should vote for Trump. They're going to get some votes flipped organically. And again, if we didn't have cheating going on, I would be able to tell you right now, the number of votes flipped by this negative response to the disaster would outweigh or balance the votes lost or come very, very close. So, whatever direction North Carolina would organically go, it would be influenced very well by this disaster towards Trump because he has gone there. He went to Fayetteville. This is as close as he was allowed to get. And he has been trying his best. And he even said, I don't care about votes. I'm talking about people's lives. That's the only thing I'm worried about. And he's been bringing food, water, Starlinks, everything he possibly can into the area on his own dime. And Trump isn't going to make too much money off of this sort of a situation. He's in real estate. This isn't a real estate deal he's going to be brokering here. Musk isn't going to make a lot of money back on Starlink, at least not in the immediate future. Because the people that end up getting Starlink kits now, if they decide to, take them private and pay the subscription fee, yeah, eventually he'll make back the money. But it's not a short-term boost. It's a long game. And that's if the FCC or FAA or whomever decides that, they don't just want to shut Starlink down because they don't like Musk or whatever fucking reason. So, they're both looking at losses here. But they're doing it anyway because that is what they feel they must do. Whereas the federal government is screwing everything up. So, organically, the voters are going to see that as Trump and Musk are helping us. Harris is not. She played dress up. And she said we might get $750, but we're not able to get it. Okay, she fucked us over. Trump and Musk are not. I'm going to go with the people who didn't fuck us. Organically, that's what would happen.
Here's what I have to say to this, okay? The government's not even fucking hiding it from us now, how much they despise us and fucking hate us. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter which side you're on. You can be on their side. They still fucking hate you. So I don't understand what's taking so long for people to get pissed off and be tired of this shit and fucking stand up and fight back against it at this point.
Well, you got it.
Well,
First of all,
Well,
you got
isn't-
something there, buddy.
isn't that the point? They want us to be pissed off. This is what this is it's a distraction. What do you think about it being a distraction from what's going on overseas? Have you been seeing what's going on over there?
I have, and that's another reason why we should be trying to go back, get our government back under control, because
It's too late for that.
they're just fucking us more and more all the time.
It's too late for that. So,
Mm.
what's the other plan?
Ugh.
I don't know what to tell you about that, but
I know.
I hope
I know.
it doesn't
We're
turn
in a
to
bad
violence,
spot.
but
Mhm.
We're in a bad,
I-
we're in a
I don't
bad
want it-
spot.
I don't want to see it turn to violence, but I don't see any other way around it.
Well, honestly, I'll be upfront about this. If Trump, let me define it in this way: if Trump is not allowed to take power, should he win the election one way or another, just to cover as many bases as possible, if he is somehow not allowed to take power, there will be violence. If the election is cheated, and it is blatantly cheated, we can see that it's cheated, there will be violence. If Congress pulls some crazy ass shit, or Potato Joe or Kamala does, and somehow says that he can't take power, there will be violence. If he is not allowed to be inaugurated on January 20th, there will be violence. If he is disenfranchised, imprisoned, or anything else before he can take power, should all those other things get there, there will be violence. Violence is the point, though, as Jay was saying. What happens when this country, even if we have a civil war that lasts exactly, let's be generous and say 6 hours, long enough for the 3rd Marines to leave their barracks in D.C. and just, we're going to arrest every member of Congress, the President of the United States, the entire cabinet for treason, and we're just going to fucking hang them all. Just hang them all right in front of Lincoln Memorial. And they go ahead and do that. Let's just play pretend and say it happens that fast. The U.S. government gets instantly replaced by, actual loyal whomevers. And they're all gone. All the heads of all these agencies are gone. The president's gone. Congress is gone. Civil war has happened. And we have successfully overthrown our oppressors. What happens
and there's
next?
a lot less of us.
Well, I'm just saying, the Civil War happens, and this is the only bloodshed that happens. The only bloodshed that happens is this specific.
Right.
I know it's not likely. I know it's not, but I'm taking the absolute best case scenario for a reason. Let me cook here. That happens. Okay. According to the Constitution, then the governors of the 50 states take over their states until a special election can be held to replace Congress and the president. Okay, let's say that happens and that goes forward, and we actually get some decently honest people in Congress, and we elect the right people in the White House, and so on and so forth. Just taking this example specifically for this reason. What happens to the U.S.? Well, okay, we have a government that's now working for us, but America, the premier first world government in the world, the leader of the free world and all that, everybody's looking at us like, you just had a civil war. We can't trust the regime in charge anymore. Well, we're gonna have to renegotiate all these trade deals. We're
It'll
gonna
start with the dollar.
Oh yeah, no, the dollar will absolutely be just decimated. It'll be Weimar Republic levels of inflation because they'll stop taking the dollar. Oh, we can't trust. It's backed by the full faith of the U.S. government. Well, the U.S. government just got replaced. We don't have any faith in the dollar anymore. We're going to dump it for Chinese yuans or euros or gold
BRICS,
or whatever the fuck they want. Yeah, the BRICS currency that's coming through. Yeah, we're going to dump the dollar. So we get absolute hypermassive inflation to the point where it's going to be just like the Weimar Republic, where you're bringing a wheelbarrow full of U.S. dollars into a grocery store just to buy a loaf of bread. It's going to be absolutely insane. After the inflation hits, then we're going to have issues negotiating all of our trade deals, all of our trade treaties, everything. they're going to say, "Oh, we don't want to pay your tariffs. You know, how can we guarantee that your market isn't going to implode in another 6 months?" And the party that just got ousted from power doesn't come see from a country that has a revolution is going to happen to us, but it's going to happen on a vastly magnified scale. Even if the only people that die are the ones that quote unquote need to, or the ones that are specifically targeted to do so, members of government, so on and so forth, even if that's all that happens, the devastation and fallout from that is going to be so incredible that the kitty butt.
That was it.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
The devastation that's going to happen economically is going to absolutely wreck this country. Now, that does a lot of good things for a lot of people that don't like us. Yes, America will finally recover. It'll take about it'll take 8 to 12 years, but we will recover because America still has a lot of economic power. And if you throw us back on our back, but if you throw us back economically on our back foot like that, we've come back from shit like that before. We came back from the Great Depression through the power of American industry. Yes, there was a war on, but it was still American industry that did it. And we will get industry again because we're now going to be cut off from everybody else. They're not going to want to, give us the stuff that we're used to importing. So, and then, everybody who's now in charge of the government is like, oh, well, shit, there's a massive emergency. Well, we're going to be the kind that's going to cut the red tape and say, go ahead and start building factories. Just build it. Who gives a shit about the, drought, the Delta smelt or whatever the fuck? Just build the fucking factories.
Yeah,
we'll worry about
mostly government regulation that keeps us from being self-sufficient as it is.
Yes.
So if we were to cut that bullshit, we would be unstoppable. It's just the federal government that keeps kneecapping us.
Yeah,
But
it would still take us 8 to 12 years to actually get all that up and running, just because shit takes time.
There is infrastructure. Plants have to be built. That's why we can't process some of our oil that we get here. We're set up to, we get different oils from Saudi Arabia. We call it a
light sweet crude.
Yeah, and ours is different. So. We're
ours is heavy crude.
Refine. We're not set up to refine our oil over there, so it would take time.
Yeah, we could. It wouldn't be that hard to change things around. It's just
probably not. If they had the money and they were like, we're doing this, they could probably do it in a week. They probably already have the equipment. They can get it done. Sorry for that cat there. But
yeah, like I said, even if we had, my point is that even if we had a virtually bloodless revolution, it would be absolute devastation for us economically for 8 to 12 years minimum.
Yeah.
We've made enemies and they shut our power off or what have you.
Yeah, well, there's a million things that could happen, and I could war game it, but we're talking 500 scenarios minimum here, and we'd be here until next week. To give you a rough idea of what would happen. I'm just saying
here.
Yeah, but in the basics of it, we'd be looking at an 8 to 12 year gap after the Civil War ended, if it ended very, very quickly. If it didn't, and it got bloody and it got messy, then you're looking at foreign intervention. Russia, whatever you think about them, just forget that for a moment. Putin already said ages ago that if Texas decided that it wanted to secede from the United States, Russia would be the first country at their door to recognize their independence and provide them with any trade deals they wanted to start talking about. So we already have one nation that already declared, and this was fairly recently, I think it was about 2012, it was during Obama. We already had one nation, one very powerful nation, declare that if there is an independence movement in the United States, they will back it. So, let's just go hog wild here and say things completely go south in the next election, but Abbott decides to actually get off his ass. Ha ha, he can't. He's a cripple. But he gets off let's say he gets off his proverbial ass and says, you know what, screw it. We're just going to declare independence. And Kevin Stitt actually shows some balls and says, yeah, we're going to go with them. We get a bunch of states that just decide they're going to secede. Well, the very first country that's going to be at our door is going to be Russia because they want to exert influence over the new U.S. that is going to contain most of the economic power of the U.S. And they're going to want to have in on that. They're going to want to have a piece of that pie. And so that's why I look at a lot of the propaganda that goes on with the Ukraine-Russian war thing a lot of people getting their minds poisoned against Putin. I don't got an issue with him because his war is with Ukraine, not me. And Zelensky is a little parasite, so I already don't like him. I don't like Big Z. And Putin, he's been relatively honest with us when it comes to a lot of things. I say relatively because Putin is a very good Russian. He is all about Russia first, which again is why I respect him. I don't like him because I know that the very second, if he could hamstring this country and just cut our hamstrings out from underneath us and let us fall down, he would, if it meant that he could step over us and Russia would then gain greater power, and admiration and glory and economic strength. But that's because, he's a Russia first guy. But at the same time, like I said, we already have one country that would step in on the side of whatever side is going to go independent because they know that's where the economic power base is. They're going to want them as a friend, not necessarily as a good friend, but somebody
to the Putin thing just for a second. I have Russian neighbors, some of the most successful people I've ever known, and they're immigrants from here, and they are the best Christians I've ever known. They're fantastic people. And they actually have friends that live in Ukraine, and they say the war is not anywhere near what they put on the news. And also, they've always said Putin is KGB through and through.
Oh yeah.
And he is not a Christian because
Nope.
people like them, my neighbors, several neighbors, they bought a lot of the land around me. They say, they were forced to leave the country. They weren't, they didn't have guns to their head, but you know what I mean? Like, it was not a friendly environment for them. And they came over here and got their visas, and they've been super successful. They're so happy to be here. They're some of the best Americans that I know. They passed the test. They're great people. Like I say, the best Christians I know. And, so Putin's not, he used to be respected, of course, but he's not the person that even they, with the sympathizers, they're like, oh, he's Christian. He's a good, strong man, blah, blah, blah. Well, this and that, but he's not necessarily, what he is presented as, and he's definitely KGB.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah.
And,
I
don't give too much credit.
Oh, I give him enough credit to know that he's going to look out for Russia's interests first. That's his whole goal.
He will definitely do that.
Just like I said.
Of course.
The thing is, though, is when he made that declaration, he saw a potential profit in it for Russia. That means that Russia would take the lead instead of the good thing to say would have been, well, if there is an attempt at independence, by the way, LOL, Cora, I saw that. If there is an attempt at independence, Russia will step in and try and negotiate a peaceful settlement. Between the federal government and the states that are trying to secede, just to pass things over and keep America whole. No, he didn't say that. He said, I'm going to back the independence movement. Why? Because it's going to pay dividends for Russia to do so if they win. And it's worth the risk because all he really has to do, considering America's firearms industry and, the equipment that's already in Texas, all he would have to do is send us a couple of shipping containers full of old AKs, maybe a few tanks, and, whatever we get we'll be grateful for. And he would probably even frame it in Russia as, oh, I'm just giving back the Lend-Lease that America gave us in World War II, or, well, they call it Great Patriotic War, whatever, and it would make him look better to the Russian people, helping out these new people who are trying to find independence away from, he denigrates homosexuals and all that sort of thing, So the people that his own voter base would very, very seriously like this because, he'd be shipping us stuff that he doesn't need, that they'd be paying maintenance fees for, that they don't need to pay maintenance fees for anymore, store or have to worry about. And he wouldn't even have to send us that much just for this new independence movement to be actually grateful enough to then sit down after the war and start working out some trade deals with Russia, and it would pay dividends to Russia because we're like, hey, you know what, we kind of helped you in that war. How about giving us a break on these tariffs? And it's going to be like, it's going to be exactly because that is exactly what Putin. He was a foreign foreign intelligence specialist for the KGB. He already knows what the environment is going to look like after a civil war if Texas is the one to lead secession. He's already got that. He's already gamed that out a million times, I betcha. So he already knows he can hold us a bit over a barrel and get things that are good for Russia in the end. That's his whole goal. It isn't to support independence. It's to get good things for Russia. And by breaking up the United States or assisting in doing so, he furthers that goal. I'm not making any bones about that. I'm just saying he would back it. But guess who would back the other side? China, most likely, would be the ones that would come out and
say the same works for all the countries that don't like us.
Yeah, well, China's going to back the other side. They're going to back the official U.S. government. They'll, come along and say whatever they need to about, backing the legitimate government of the United States, just as Xi Jinping is the legitimate governor of China, the legitimate eternal president, whatever the fuck. And a lot of the ones that actually like us are probably just going to stay out of it. Like, I don't see Japan doing anything, or if they do, they'll just send a bunch of, they might send some neutral field hospitals under Doctors Without Borders or something and set up in like California or something, just so that they can do something as they feel indebted to do so. But at the same time, they don't want to stick their necks out. And England, they're fully in with the international cabals of whatever the fuck these days, the Great Blob, as Scott Adams calls them. And they'll probably send troops over to secure areas deep behind the lines, like Washington D.C. Yeah, they'll like secure Washington D.C. or whatever the hell, or maybe some important ports around Norfolk or whatever. But they'll send a token force, just enough to get things going. And then when of course right-minded patriots decide that they're going to. Oh, well, it looks like we're not going to be friends with the English anymore. What a terrible shame. Well, time to go 1776 on their asses again. And they do that.
Think about this. How many countries that are in our scope, that are our allies, have advanced their technology beyond us or beyond 1965? Not the UK, not Australia. I can't think of many countries out there that have actually spent anything on advancing their military technology.
France, the Lafayette class frigates.
They are France.
Hey, don't knock them. They do have a pretty serious ground component. And they just went through and replaced their FAMAS rifles with HK416, so they've got a better mainline rifle. And I hate to say it, when you actually put the French Foreign Legion out and tell them to do something, they will fucking do it. The problem is, though, is they're not actually French people.
They do have tough men.
France does have some good military capability. They also have little aircraft carriers. France could seriously do some damage if they really decided to do so.
And I could say the Australian guys that I met were also
they're tough as nails.
Soldiers. Oh yeah,
England, the Queen Elizabeth class carriers. Those are just coming into service now. I think they're still waiting on their F-35s, but I mean, in an emergency, they could probably grab Harriers from the boneyard and throw them on there if they really wanted to, or they could just dedicate them purely to
who we're fighting.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Let's take the scenario of everybody doesn't like us. We start a civil war, and all the people that are for the global cabal decide to come and try and destroy us. Just taking that as our scenario. The English could load those Queen Elizabeth class carriers up with nothing but helicopters just to land Marines, Royal Marines, and regular ground troops and ferry supplies and things like that. And they would have two very large helicopter carriers with about the same capability as our own Iwo Jima class landing ships. That's not a capability to just discard. And the technology that they've got on there is pretty high. I mean, it's present day tech. It's a little outdated. 2010s, early 2000s, but it is pretty good. Granted, most of their older ships, they're still old. I mean, they're from the 80s and 70s and so forth, and they're using slightly older technology still. But in this kind of a scenario,
still making me feel better about it.
Well, in this kind of scenario, you also have to realize the U.S. Navy isn't really going to put up very much of a resistance, because you have to assume that the vast majority of the DEI Navy is going to side with the government. We may get a few ships here and there. God help us if we manage to score a carrier. We would have actually something worthwhile. But if all we can score is a handful of guided missile frigates and maybe a guided missile cruiser here and there that'll join the Patriot side, they're nothing, we would have just a ghost compared to what even the French could put over here if they really wanted to. Or, if the French and the English decide to join up and restore the rightful government of the United States, they could put together an armada that is pretty potent, even if they don't have long-range strike capabilities. Unless we get a carrier of our own, we are going to be basically going toe-to-toe with them. And if we have to go toe-to-toe with them, we're just not going to get enough ships for it to make much of a difference. So, on the naval front, the Patriot side could honestly lose to a combined force of France and England. And that's only if they use about half of their naval assets that they want to send over. It's actually a pretty serious situation if they decide to do that. Now, and I'm just saying because we can't count on the Navy or any branch of the military defecting en masse, because they have gone to such lengths to put in loyalists into officer positions, senior NCO positions, and things like that. They have done so well. We were hearing before the hurricane, we were hearing almost weekly of a screw up in the Navy or the Air Force or something related to a DEI hire or a DEI promotion screwing something up. And it was pretty constant. So, it tells me that in a Civil War scenario, we're going to have roughly half the Navy, or just taking the Navy, roughly half the Navy is just going to stop in their tracks and not do shit. Of the remaining chunk of the Navy, we're going to get maybe a third that'll join us, but it's unknown, if we can get enough specialists to run whole ships, if they can even steal the ships. There's going to be mutinies across the board. And the really big decider, the big stick, is going to be whether or not the Patriot side can get their hands on a ballistic missile sub. That right there will decide the Civil War one way or another. Because if we get somebody that commanding a missile sub, who's, let's say, just for the sake of argument, his entire crew decides to back the Patriot cause and says, "Yes, Captain, we will listen to you. We love you." Well, I'm just saying, let's just say it happens. Let's just say it happens, just for the sake of argument. One nuclear sub, and he suddenly decides, you know what? I'm not listening to the president anymore. I'm not listening to the president. I am going to listen to whomever pops up and says they are going to lead the Patriot movement. And let's say it's Abbott, just for the sake of argument. There are checks and balances in there when it comes to nuclear submarines because of how dangerous they are. And this scenario has been gamed out a few times in fiction, where you have an unclear presidential line of succession, and you've got two people claiming to be the rightful acting president of the United States. Whichever one can successfully order a nuclear submarine to breach the surface and raise and recognize them and their orders is the true president. Because that's just how they work. Now, if you get somebody who just decides to go off the rails and says, "I'm not listening to the president," and they send communications, say, to Austin, and we're going to say Abbott's leading the charge here, just again for the sake of argument, just to make things easier, and they say, "Future President Abbott, we will listen to your orders. What do you want us to do? We could drop nukes on Washington, New York, Philadelphia. Just tell us where to target them." And all he really has to do is say, "All right, well, let me call Washington. Hey, Washington, how do you fancy being wiped off the map in less than 15 minutes? Because that's how close the sub is. You will have about 10 minutes of warning. That's not even enough to get to shelters. How would you like that? Okay, we're going to go our way. You're going to go your way. But we're splitting. It's either that or we will drop." That is the way that it would end up being decided. Because, on the other side of things, you get some captain and crew that has decided they're going to remain loyal to the lawfully elected government of the United States, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to try and wade into the moral quandary. They're just going to follow orders. And you get some unhinged son of a bitch. I mean, Biden's out to lunch. Kamala is a little crazy. But, I mean, say you get somebody just really, really bad in there.
I don't think you can have an unhinged captain, an unhinged single person on a submarine that can actually get the codes and
fire. No, I'm not talking about somebody on the submarine. I'm talking about somebody in government. Let's just say that we have a different person as president or acting president or whatever, and a real just beyond the scope. And I'm not even going to name. Like I said, if they got the codes and they signaled the submarine and they said, "Okay, well, we're in a situation of revolution. We're going to bring those rebels to heel, and we're going to do it with the power of the atom. I want you to drop nukes on Austin, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. Just start listing U.S. cities. Expend all your ordnance, nuke every Patriot city into the ground."
Hopefully, they wouldn't do that. I couldn't do it.
Hopefully they wouldn't do it. But the thing is if they did, yes, it would break the Civil War. But that
If
also
there's
would
anything
just
left
Fallout
besides
would.
after that.
well, Fallout really isn't so much. People overblow the danger of Fallout. I mean, yes, it's something very scary, but the way that nukes work these days is we mostly do airbursts to maximize the damage that they do to physical structures. We
Which
don't do ground
minimizes
bursts.
Fallout.
Yeah, it minimizes fallout. We don't do ground bursts unless it's against a hardened target. Like we had the wargaming scenarios. If we were going to try and drop on Moscow, we were planning for using really outdated tech with gravity free fall bombs set to ground burst, because that was the only thing that would be able to take out their equivalent of the presidential bunkers under Moscow. They were dug in that deep and that hard. Ground bursts just really aren't a thing anymore. It's all air bursts because it maximizes the destruction over a wider area, but also produces not nearly as much fallout, not nearly as, I think if I remember right from my math, is remember I've done deep studies on nuclear weapons before. I believe the fallout amount is reduced to about 8% of that of a ground burst. Yes, that's still something, but it's not nearly as bad. That is stay inside for 24 hours unless you're right next to where it blew up.
Right.
And after
You can-
24 hours, you can
travel through the area,
Yeah.
conduct operations. You
Yeah.
might get cancer in 20 years, but who's to say it's even from that?
Yeah, and at this rate, if we're talking about a scenario where they're dropping nukes on American soil from the American government, who the fuck cares about cancer in 20 years at that point? I mean, shit's going to be
we'll
just
starve
completely.
long before that.
Oh yeah, starve or whatever the hell else happens to us. It'll be bad. It'll just be really, really, really bad. Is my point. And if we talk any serious Civil War talk, is always result in, even if we get the best case Civil War with an absolute minimum of bloodshed or even zero bloodshed, where everybody's just arrested and we do things according to the law and we put them on trial and all that sort of thing and we give them life sentences or whatever. Even if it's a bloodless coup, an absolutely bloodless coup, we are still going to deal with the fact that we, as the premier government of the world, just went through a revolution. And literally every other government of the world that matters much, France, England, Germany, Russia, well, Russia sort of, but China, all the big other governments are. Everybody that hates us is going to turn around and say, well, now you've just given us an excuse not to listen to you. You went through or attack us or whatever. I mean, they likely won't attack us. They'll conduct economic warfare, which is much safer, which is what I was going into before. And it would be much more successful. But the point is that any civil war, no matter how quick, no matter how bloodless, no matter how quote unquote safe, is going to end with America being absolutely decimated in the long run, even if nobody dies directly from the war itself. And the longer the war goes on, the longer the recovery period is going to be. And if it goes on way too long, way too long, we're going to end up with chunks of the U.S. almost permanently occupied by the UN. Or literally just by foreign governments. They're just going to say, fuck, using the blue helmets, we're just going to go in ourselves. We're going to have Canada. First of all, Canada will probably be the first ones on the scene in Montana saying, well, there's a civil war. We have to secure America's nuclear weapons because guess what? There was a secret treaty that actually didn't exist until now. Look at this post-dated watermark on this, piece of paper signed by John F. Kennedy or whatever, saying that Canada can take control of our long-range missiles if there's ever a national emergency. And Trudeau will just he will have many little pleasures from that over the course of several hours. Yeah, but he will enjoy himself over several hours for being able to do that. And mad respect to our Canadian bros and stuff, but a lot of them are probably going to say, well, yeah, I think it is pretty dangerous for an American in a civil war to have access to nuclear weapons. Who knows what could happen? So they're going to come over with the best of intentions and be like, we just want to take your toys away, the big ones, until you get things settled out. Let's be bros about this. And
we're here to help you.
Well, the rank and file are going to honestly be wanting to help. And that, some of them are going to be like, yeah, let's screw the Americans. But the vast majority will be like, we fought side by side with these guys for so long in Afghanistan and everywhere else. We're bros, but we need to take your toys away, big bro, until you sort your shit out. Just like going over to somebody's house. Yeah, well, it's just like going over to somebody's house if they're in a really, really bad spot. They're depressive. They're thinking about, not being in the census the next time the census rolls around and saying, you want me to hang on to your guns just for now? You know, it's the same mentality. It's the same mentality. And the good rank and file Canadians are going to be like, yeah, that's all we're doing. The really dastardly ones are like, we're going to steal their shit and we're never going to give it back. And now Canada will be a nuclear armed nation.
Right.
You know,
I think it's going to be more like invite your neighbors over to eat dinner with you. Oh, my clock's going off. I guess it's 5.
Yep.
Just a second. But I think it's going to be more like invite your neighbors over to have a nice dinner. They sit down at your table and then knock the plates. There goes Cat. Knock the plates off onto the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, if it goes on for any length of time, we're going to end up with occupations around the country, no matter who wins. And even if, say, in one of the longer-term Civil War scenarios, the Patriot side completely wins and takes the entire country, we're still going to have to deal with UN occupations.
Yes, we
And,
will. They'll be the
you know,
first ones.
Yeah, we're going to have to deal with them politically. I mean, you know, just say that the Patriot side wins, we retake Washington, D.C., we flush the sewer completely, every dastardly person in government, local, federal, whatever, gets flushed out into the ocean, and the good people take over, and we become again a very good country. If it goes on for
to Ohio, I say we ship them to Hawaii and appease a volcano with them.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm just saying, no matter how it happens, say that the Patriot side wins, and you know, we gain control of the entire country politically, and everything goes back to being peaceful. If the Civil War lasts even 4 months to 6 months, we're going to have zones that are going to be occupied by the UN that we are going to have to deal with politically. There are going to be some patriots who are going to be like, screw it, we're just going to shoot the bastards. And probably just got us banned from YouTube right there. Oh well. We're almost better.
It's a hypothetical.
It's a in Minecraft. There, I said it.
Yeah, wargaming. That's all it is.
Yeah, we're just talking about stuff that happens in Minecraft. Yes, we're Minecraft fiends. Of the game of Risk, yeah. But, you know, we're going to have to deal with zones of UN occupation. Some of it we may be okay with, like, you know, they'd be occupying L.A. Who gives a fuck, honestly? I mean, until we're ready to take L.A. back into the fold and fix it, the UN can have it. New York City, well, you know what? That's kind of a slap in the face. It was America's first capital. We don't like you there. You need to leave. They'd probably take Philadelphia and other port cities along the East Coast too, just because they're easy pickings. And we're like, no, we kind of want you to leave. The UN's like, no, well, you know, we don't trust you. So
I don't know how easy it would be to take Philadelphia. There's a lot of armed people here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know, I'm just saying, compared to say them trying to land a UN force in Galveston, it would be far easier.
They'll be coming into our ports. They'll be coming into our ports first. I mean, that's what we got.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to look for. We'll just have to make sure we don't let them land. You know, because they won't be landing on our shores until it's really serious. I mean, they have no business here. So I mean, hopefully we're all coordinated enough to keep the UN from landing here, because they're not going to do any good. It's all.
Oh no, they're not.
You know, a big move for them, and we should recognize what the move is. Not something I want to elaborate on, but hopefully we can.
Whoa!
I got something
Chris,
here for you. I hate to just jump into this conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
Anthony just posted on Discord. There is a question on the Nevada ballot to make abortion legal up to 9 months. A non-physician can perform the abortion, and minors do not need parents' permission to get one.
So they can go out to an alley, find somebody with a coat hanger or a hook, or you know, just wait for it to come out and do it then, without parents ever knowing.
Pretty much.
That's fun.
Wow.
I mean, I would expect that out of Nevada. I mean, for crying out loud, all those dancing girls, not, you know, there's going to be some that are not 18 or 21 or whatever the supposed state minimum is. You know, there's not.
Why wouldn't they go to a state that has limited rights, you know, beforehand or something like that, and they could take. I mean, why not just get an adoption, man? People are hungry.
I was adopted
to adopt a baby. why not make it easier for people to adopt? I heard it costs like
Yeah.
40 or 50 grand to adopt a kid. Why does it cost that much to adopt a kid? I mean,
My
yeah,
parents didn't
sure.
spend anywhere near that much.
You've got to go through the processes and like see the people and
Well,
get
it's
whatever you
administrative
gotta do.
cost,
But
Jack.
why is it so hard to adopt a kid?
No,
I don't get it.
it really shouldn't be. I was adopted. I turned out mostly okay.
Yeah, you know, a little crazy like the rest of us.
Oh yeah. I mean, and shit happened to me when I was younger, but I'm over that. You
Yeah.
guys know. I've told you.
Join the club, dude.
I won't bring it. I will not say that on camera. That's one of the few things I
Join
won't say
the
on
club,
camera.
buddy.
But
I mean,
shit
we're all in the
happened.
same club.
Shit happened to me, but I turned out mostly okay. I'm a hard worker. I have a strong faith. I'm a good person. I turned out to be
Not
a good person.
pedo. I mean, that seems to be an important thing to mention these days.
Yeah, I'm not hanging with P. Diddy.
Yeah. They don't have videos of me. I'll tell you what.
Oh, I'm sure they got videos of me from all different angles, just from all the spyware they keep around every place in the world.
Right.
But none of it with me doing anything with children.
Right.
I will say that. I will say that.
So, I'm sorry, I got kicked out in the middle of the conversation there.
No, you're fine.
And my
you
thoughts
keep
just
coming
ran
back,
away.
and that's what matters to me.
Yeah, I'm like a bad fungus. I always come back.
Yeah. That keeps us united. That's all
Oh.
that matters.
You were
Shared
talking
trauma.
about why it's you were saying about why it costs so much to adopt. It's all administrative fees.
hmm
It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
they could fix that in a day. Well, they might have to pass a bill. I don't know what they have to do, but they can fix that.
Yeah,
They need to cap the cost of it.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Something.
I understand that there will need to be some kind of an administrative fee if our tax and spending system actually worked the way as it was intended to, and those administrative fees were going right back into keeping whatever organization is helping facilitate these adoptions alive, and it wasn't just disappearing into the black hole of government. I would be fine with paying some administrative fees if I was in a position to adopt a kid again. Like, say by some miracle I actually find someone that I can put up with for the rest of my life, and we decide we want to actually adopt a kid. I would be completely understanding of having administrative fees that go right back into that organization or that branch of government or whatever, and that is the only thing keeping them afloat, or one of the major things keeping them afloat. I'd be okay with that. But I know for a damn fact that those administrative fees are going off into the black hole. They're just getting tossed into the pit with everything else. So, that's why.
Well, I mean, there's intent.
They're
With
going
that,
to
they're
to the
intentionally
back
making it
pocket of
difficult.
somebody.
And, well,
Sorry,
that-
guys, it's hot over here, so I've got the fat man sweats.
Oh yeah, I'm just cooling off. I'm about to go outside and sweat some more. But I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
With all the games that they're playing, if they make it an issue to adopt a child, then they're still getting government funds for foster homes and foster care and everything like that. So I think it all plays in together.
Oh shit, Thomas!
Oh, Thomas! Oh no!
What Thomas do? I can't see chat at all.
Thomas,
said,
I think I'm going to
gonna
send the threesome midget S&M hookers.
Oh yeah. I hope they swallow.
I'm sure they do more than that.
Okay.
You know they
Okay.
had Eskimo hookers in a Weird Al song, right?
Something like
Really?
We
that.
had that conversation. We had that conversation the other day. I
He's
think.
probably about to make a song about it if he had those in his phone. Knowing that guy.
No, he did make. He had it in a song back in the
Okay.
90s. It was
I was
off
going
of.
to say, they used to say that if Weird Al hasn't made a parody of one of your songs, you're not successful yet.
Oh yeah, Weird Al. I mean, he's getting up there. He's God. I think he's close to his 70s now.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, I've got nothing but respect for that man. You know why? We haven't heard anything about him involving children yet.
Right?
Yet is the
You
key
know,
word.
I
Hopefully
bet he
not.
would be the first to say that he's, weird because his name's Weird Al, but he's not
I don't think he's that
maybe
Maybe,
weird.
supposed to
I
maybe
don't
be
think
that's
he's
the
a
that
part
weird
weird.
that's
guy.
weird is that he's not doing things with
Yeah,
children.
that's exactly
Like,
what
that's
I'm
the part that
saying.
makes him weird.
Yeah, he's not like all the other Hollywood idiots. He's Weird Al because he's not into that shit, and they are, and that's supposed to be normal, and he's not, so that's weird. But yeah, I've got nothing but respect for that man. I used to respect Garth Brooks back in the 90s and 80s and so well, not 80s, but 90s and early 2000s. I respected him because he was a good singer and he didn't really say anything one way or another on politics. Then when he refused to play Trump's inauguration, Mrs. Cal was still alive. She was like, I can't believe he's doing this. I'm like, well, honey, he's your favorite singer of all time. You literally fangirl over everything that he does. How do you feel about him now? She took the 2 cases of CDs that I had bought her for Christmas. That was basically a compendium of it was his complete discography up to that point. She took them off her shelf, went over to the trash, and she just threw them in. And she's like, I don't want to. I'm going to save one of them because it has Friends in Low Places on it, but the rest of them can go in the trash. I'm done.
Well, I lost all respect for him when he screwed his wife over when he left her.
Oh.
That
was
he's super liberal now, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
also
Well,
just
because
recently
Tricky
been
Year was.
accused of raping one of his makeup artists.
Yeah, I was about to bring
I
that
didn't
up.
hear that.
Oh yeah, he went to something in some place and he got one room for both him and his makeup artist, and apparently he was acting untoward towards her.
Well, he showed up naked. Is what she said.
Like
He showed up
like I said.
naked
Yeah,
and raped her. Is what she said.
Wow.
yeah.
And then after they were done, he made her act like nothing was wrong, sit down in a chair, and put his makeup on.
Well,
I mean,
that
that's some
doesn't
boss
surprise
level
me,
fucked up
considering-
shit right there.
and that doesn't surprise me. I mean, coming from the person who wrote The Thunder Rolls, and I really think that's based on his personality.
Yeah,
I bet
that's
his
all
ex-wife
about an
has
abusive
some
relationship.
stories. Yeah,
Well,
I'm saying
I think
I bet his ex-wife.
For those of
maybe
you that
should've
more
been
like
this
he's
whole
probably
thing.
drunk.
For those
I
of
think
you that don't know, Thunder Rolls is about an abusive relationship.
Mhm.
So and obviously the man is the abuser because that's just typical. So what Chris says, I now looking back, I can say, yeah, you know what, probably right. That's the thing with a lot of artists. They speak through their music, or they speak through their movies, or they speak through their books. Read between
In the
the lines.
video, the video for that, he played the man, the abuser in that, and I mean, he played it really well. You could see it in his eyes.
Yeah,
I don't
So-
think he was acting.
that's that. Yeah, that's exactly the point I'm bringing up. Is that if you read between the lines or look at what's going on and step back, step out of the fanboy or girlism, and look at the actual message, you can connect the dots pretty quickly. I mean, it gets real easy. I mean, look at the stuff that Stephen King did. I won't bring it up. I won't.
I'm sorry, guys. Cora says Thomas and I might be related too. Thomas goes, yeah, my dad got around.
I saw that. Oh damn. Oh damn. No.
Well, hopefully you didn't hook up already.
Well, I was accusing her of being a party animal this morning. I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to do the blood test. They make you do that before you get married, just to make sure you're not kin. Make sure you don't have diseases that you pass on to your kids.
They make sure you don't have 3-headed kids that come out because you're related.
Yeah, we don't want.
Well, shit. If I had a three-headed kid and all 3 heads were functional, I'm selling them off to a circus.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we have enough people with Downs, but the more the merrier.
Yeah, we got one of them in the White House right now.
Yeah.
Which one, the president or the vice president, or both?
Take your pick. I'm not gonna get specific because that'll probably. I
have to say, I'm kind of rooting for Joe. The guy's in a bad spot. He
Come
doesn't
on,
even-
Joe, take her out, man.
He doesn't even know what's
Peter.
going on. You know, I kind of feel sorry for the guy.
I
And
do.
everything
Wait
that's
for
been going on.
Wait
You
for him
know,
to have one of his.
before I was
wait for him
totally
to have-
against Joe, but
Wait for him to have
now
one
I'm
of his
kinda
Alzheimer's
open
moments
for him.
where he gets all violent and shit and beats the hell out of her on camera.
That would be hilarious.
I
That would be
just hope,
hilarious.
I just hope he makes it. For
Oh,
as
he
long as
already
he
has.
needs to.
He already has. He's already done one thing to kneecap her campaign. Was yesterday or the day before when he said, "Oh yes, Kamala has been right there beside me, helping me make every single decision." Yeah, he's getting his revenge. And that actually bodes well for us.
It wasn't even just that. It was the fact that he decided to have a press conference over top of her press conference.
Yep. Joe
That's
and
the
well,
big
more
one.
Jill than Joe, but Joe is, he's like, well, fuck you. You forced me out. I'm going to take revenge on you the only way I politically can without coming right out and saying I support Donald Trump. Which, that would be literal suicide at that point. They'd probably actually just cap his ass or 25th Amendment him at that point. Oh no, he's crazy. He's supporting Trump. That would just start a whole mess of shit. But Biden's only method of revenge is to see to it that Kamala does not become president. Because once you lose big like that, it's very, very hard to get that nomination again. Look at Hill Dog. She didn't get the nod a second time. Generally speaking, you do not become a serious candidate unless you are anointed. But you don't become a serious candidate if you lose the big game. You're done. So his whole plot of revenge is to keep sticking needles into her at every possible opportunity to try and, if not cripple her, he probably won't be able to cripple her, but he can do some damage. Linking her to his policies, linking her to the failures that have been going on the last 4 years. Because at this point, he doesn't care if he gets tagged as being a failure as a president. It doesn't matter as long as he can screw her. And that is his. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
So why do you think they're doing all that, sir? Why do you think they're so obvious with their plans? I mean, we can all see it. Why do you think they would be playing these games with each other? It doesn't make sense unless they're playing their end game. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a civil war going on in the Democrat Party. There really is.
There is. There's
so
and
many people leaving.
multifactional.
Hey, Ryan wants to join us, guys.
All right, bring him on.
All right, yeah.
Go on to link him.
Yeah, I was thinking about calling it, but shoot, bring somebody else in. We'll stick around.
We'll stick around a little longer.
I'll stick around.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Bring
it in.
I just
Grab
cracked
the-
a beer, man. I'm good for a couple hours. I might start talking a little gibberish or slurring my speech, but I'll be all right.
We're gonna be here till fucking 8 o'clock now.
Shit, I'll start a movie after that. Fuck it. We'll do it. I think this is some good conversation to have.
Oh yeah.
I hope we have some people over there listening in the chat. I can't see it at all.
We got 8
see
people.
guys. Awesome.
Yeah, they're having a good time over here carrying on and talking.
Okay,
Awesome.
if we're gonna do this,
got
we're
some
gonna
good comments going.
I think Cal's saying
Right,
he needs a potty break.
If you guys see some good comments, mention them so we can talk about them.
Cora just said, "Let's get Jay drunk and take advantage of him."
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
Hopefully it wasn't while you were in the service though, and not by one of your service.
Well, I mean, I remember it and I was willing, but my aspirations were lowered, so I don't count those.
Oh my!
And I guess if I'm going to count them by that, I guess my body count is about 5. If I'm going to count them that way.
Thomas said, "I'll pass you and Jamie have fun." Oh shit! Yeah, Ryan, I sent you the link, bud. All you gotta do is click on it, and it'll have you log into your Rumble account, and then it'll pop you up here with us.
Ryan.
After you give
Ryan's not ringing the bell. Could you enlighten me?
our Boyd.
Oh, Boyd. Hell yeah, I know Boyd. Hell yeah, bring him on.
Yeah, I've known. We met him over on the other channel, and he was actually training to be a mod over there.
Okay.
But-
is he a vet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thomas said he might need counseling after filming you, Jamie, and Cora.
Hey man, if that's how your
gonna
mind
be-
works, you might need counseling.
He's gonna run around going, "They used the whole fucking chicken." Ah, shit.
Get down, boy. Yeah, the dog got involved too.
The dog.
He's right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's right here. Come here.
Hi, Charlie.
Come up
What are
here.
you doing, Charlie?
Come up here. There he
Jamie
is.
says I'll be your counselor.
There he is, that big old boy. What's
I'll
this
be
guy?
your
What's this?
sugar daddy.
What's this?
I hear him.
Yeah, he don't like that. Big old dog, got a head as big as I do. Get down.
He loves
All
me
right, get
though.
down. He's all right. He's all right. I don't mind him.
Oh,
He can hang around.
sorry, my throat was dry.
What's up,
Oh,
fellas?
you have to move it up.
Mr. Boyd,
There he
good
is.
to see you.
Hey, boy.
What's going on, Ryan?
Excuse all the cobwebs. I'm on the porch.
Oh,
Oh,
well, it's good to finally meet you.
likewise.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm there. Whatever.
Hey, if we just chill out, have
Oh,
some
yeah.
There we go.
have some good conversations, carry on, cut up. That's what we're here for.
Oh, yeah,
Entertainment.
definitely.
So,
Yeah,
and
talk about
hopefully,
anything.
go ahead, bud. Ugh, come
Hello,
on, Cora,
everybody.
no, no.
Hi, everybody.
All
Cora
right,
had to
boys.
go there.
All right, boys. So you jumped in. It's your subject. Where are we
Go
going?
for it.
Hold on. I gotta address this comment first.
Oh no.
Cora said that's where I'll back out with the dog. She said we can call in Timmy.
What if it was a really big dog?
See, I got.
We are not endorsing bestiality. YouTube.
Oh, no,
Just
none of
getting
that,
this
none
out
of
there. We are just carrying on,
Oh.
having fun, playing around.
Yeah, I got the camera for here on my laptop, and I got the chat on my tablet over here.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So.
man.
All right, Boyd. Well, thanks for coming in. Like I
Mhm.
said, I'd like to hear what you had to say, sir.
Your
Well,
chair.
I got a hold of my brother up in Blowing Rock. Finally got a hold of him. It was last Sunday. I was able to get through to him. The only thing he ended up with some of the water going through his yard and stuff. It knocked his shed off the platform, I guess it was on. He's got his neighbors coming over later on, probably right now, to help him lift the damn thing up and move it over. Oh, that's a big fucking shed.
Oh wow.
They're all big sheds if you got to move it by yourself
Yeah. Oh yeah.
or even with a few people.
Well,
Hi,
yeah.
Susie.
I texted him today. I'm like, hey man, I got tomorrow off work. I said, is there anything you guys need? And I mean anything that you need, I'll bring it to you. I said, as long as 321's open, I'll fucking be up there. So I sat there and I'm like, okay. So I waited for his response back. He's like, no, he goes, we're all set. He goes, the whole community up here is pitching in and doing what they need to do and all that.
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, well, last thing you need to be worried about right now is freaking FEMA. I said, because they ain't coming to help you. I said, they're taking donations. Sheriffs are confiscating the shit. I'm like, man, that's bullshit.
Yep.
And sure enough,
Hey,
it's
Best thing you can do is find somebody that you know that knows the area well enough that they can get around all that shit.
yeah.
Oh,
And that's why one of the reasons why I push the community thing so much.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good community, you can work through stuff like this. But if you have, well, I mean, I guess like with Asheville, I mean, I don't know how much of the community's left there. I mean, they're saying that there's a lot of people that have left this earth up there.
Yeah.
And
There is.
so, I mean, I don't know how much good community would do up there at this point with that big of a loss.
Well,
Unless you bring people, I mean, you're good friends with the communities around you, that they would come in and help.
Yeah. well, a lot of the churches are doing a lot too. A lot of the local churches up there, they're taking donations and stuff. But the problem is, the county sheriff, the Buncombe County Sheriff, went in and was taking the donations.
Yeah.
Now,
I heard
see,
that.
What the hell is that?
See, at that point, it's like, I'm sorry.
That's when he should be relieved of duty.
Yeah.
Yes, relieved of duty. Let's put it that way. Relieved of duty.
I
Anybody
heard.
attempting to steal all that shit should be relieved of duty permanently.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really,
100%.
Thomas?
There's no sense in any of that shit. There's two places that I know personally. Well, not personally, but
Personally
that I know
enough.
of that are good to donate to. One is Samaritan's Purse, and the other one is Grindstone Ministries. If anybody
I
knows,
saw those mentioned before. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, if anybody knows Bear Independent on YouTube, that's who Grindstone Ministries is.
Okay.
He
there
does a
was
lot of stuff.
some friends of mine that live in Randleman had gotten a hold of me, and I got a hold of them actually because Cal asked me about place where to send stuff.
Yeah.
If we were going to send stuff down, and so they got me in touch with a business down there. It's an insurance business that they're using as a staging area to put stuff in so that they can distribute it.
Yeah.
But how much can we trust it? Just
Well,
like George, just like Junior, just in the cash.
I don't think it's the.
We don't know where it goes.
No, they don't. No, they're wanting you to send items. They want you to send cases of water and stuff like that. They don't want the money.
Yeah, well, see, the thing with the donations is if the freaking cops find out about it, sheriffs or whatever, or FEMA finds out about it, that's just going to get fucking disappeared.
Yeah, they're going to take
Only
it
if you let it.
and appropriate it.
I
Or
can't.
let it.
Hey, I can't show it on YouTube, but it's right.
You've got
I'll show you
protection.
part of it. It's right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Believe me, everybody in this chat has something like that. I've got two of them sitting
Damn
within arms.
straight.
Three
Yeah,
of
and
them
there's
sitting. I'm sorry, three of
also
them.
What we've all heard about the equity thing that FEMA
Oh
has
yes,
been-
equity.
Yeah.
Equity.
equity. So
I've,
Bullshit.
of course, I want to send it to help somebody, but if they get to pick and choose who it helps, and they send it to equity areas, wherever that may be, yeah, we're helping out somebody, but if somebody else is getting left out, then the appropriation that they're taking charge of, it's shameful. It's sickening, really.
See, the thing with
Okay.
their definition of equity isn't people our color,
Exactly.
it's people
That's what it is.
of color who aren't citizens and live in other states. They have nothing to do with what's happening here.
Okay, let me cut in here real quick. First, Jay. Cora says, "Smooth out your beard." She told me to tell you twice, so. And then Susie.
Here, I'll do
Susie,
this. I'll do
the-
this. Let me just spread it out like this. How do you like that?
And Susie. Cal is the one in top left with glasses. Jay is top right. I'm the bottom left. And Ryan, aka R. Boyd, is on the bottom right.
Right here. Right here.
So those are the guests today.
Smooth out my beard. Shut up.
Okay, you want me to introduce myself? Fine. Hi, I'm Cal. I got the nickname from my user handle Calanon, which means Californians Anonymous. I once was a unfortunate prisoner of the state of California. I don't mean legally, I mean physically. I was trapped there for 15 years. Mind you, they were the best 15 years of my life because the people I was with. That's where I was with my wife. Passed away a couple of years ago. That's where I raised my son. So while I had a good time there, California itself is a piece of crap. We all know that. But that's why I came up with the name Calanon. It is a relationship so toxic that you need help quitting. In the same vein as, Alcoholics Anonymous, Druggies Anonymous, whatever. It was a joke, but I became known as Cal after that, and that's just the moniker that I go by. I don't give out my real name, just like Jay doesn't give out the name that he prefers to be known by. So he goes by Jay. Jay, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah. People call me asshole. That's not my official.
Only
name.
Jamie. Only Jamie.
Yeah, I earn it with pride. I know I'm an asshole. I'm a veteran of the Army. I served in Iraq. I know a lot about some things and nothing about others. I'm just a guy.
Thank you for your service, sir.
I'm nothing special. Don't call me a smart guy, man. I don't want to blow my cover.
You're special to us.
Okay.
used to build
I guess since
robots,
we're going
blah, blah, blah.
clockwise here, I guess I'm next. I'm Ryan, aka R. Boyd. Been on YouTube since I think 2012, 13. I'm here. I'm there. I'm in a shit ton of damn live chats and stuff like that. I don't normally come and go and do video and stuff like that, but I'm here.
Wow.
Hi, everybody.
We feel privileged and
Oh yeah, and I'm a massive
at least
shit
we're
talker,
saying,
too.
hey, look at me, look at my ass in some tiny shorts and stuff on OnlyFans or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm a massive shit talker online too. So not a troll, but I can be at times.
Oh, I'm an old troll. See, a lot of you guys, you've got more practical upbringings than I do. You guys got your hands dirty early in life. Me, I was raised mostly by, I can't say my stepdad was of that sort, but he was practical like most of y'all. But I got raised around technology. I know technology very well. So does Jay. But again, I don't want to blow his cover. But I got into internet culture a lot. That is one of my many areas of knowledge. I will call myself a troll because I was on 4chan from about 2004 onwards, and I will freely say it, I've taken part in some operations against people that just about everybody here would designate as their enemies. Meme operations, troll operations. I already know I'm on an FBI watch list. I'm probably on about 6 or 7. I don't care anymore. If they want to come over and have a talk with me, we can go have a seat on our front porch underneath the wasp nest, and I'll say,
They
"I
better
want to take
bring the
some
MRAP.
I won't go that far. But if they want to come over and have a chat about my activities online and say, we know who you are, I'm like, yeah, I know you know who I am. I've got like 6 or 7 different names. I'm sure you know most of them. I've gotten to a point where I don't care anymore. Let them come. I have raised my son. He is an adult. My wife has passed away. So it's just me. I'm responsible for only myself. I have no nobody that I need to protect. Not that my wife needed protecting. You get to know me better, you find out what Mrs. Cal was really like. But I will say that I have no reason to. I have nobody I need to shield. It is just me. So if somebody wants to come and have a friendly little chat, I will have a friendly little chat. If they want to have an unfriendly chat, I'll do that too. I don't really care anymore. If I go down for something like that, let me go down for something like that. Please let me go down for something like that.
Thomas goes 2004. You go, comma, amateurs. I started with DOS on an 8088.
On 88.
You want to
Okay.
go back how far I've been doing computers? I've literally been doing computers since 1982. Mind you, I was 1 year old. My dad sat me in front of a computer and started teaching me how to type. So I have been ingrained in computers since birth. That was pre-DOS. DOS didn't even exist as a format then. It was all, it was
Cal
either
got
Apple or
implants.
IBM language.
Welcome to
You got-
Nerd Speak today.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Cal got the implants when he was young.
Yes, I did. But yeah, so I have a bit of a different perspective on a lot of things, especially when it comes to the internet.
Jamie, burn.
Jamie, no.
You guys got to read the comments. I can't see them.
Oh,
Jamie just burned Thomas bad.
yeah,
She said, "When do we need to wipe your butt, Thomas?"
Jamie, no. Oh, girl, I can tell she's in a better mood these days because she's throwing out fireballs.
That was nuclear.
Yeah, you know what, Jamie? I'm glad to see that you're in such a good mood that you can start joking around with us again. I know you've been through a lot lately. Just putting that out there.
Fist bump for that one.
Yes, definitely. Fist bump for that one, girl. You earned that.
Oh, that's great.
Boyd, you need to come on camera more. You've got a face fit for camera. You look like a news reporter. Mind you, dressed casually.
bullshit.
You look. You're handsome enough to be a news reporter.
So Thomas was like taking those cards, and they'd punch little holes in there and stack them all up and do all that kind of thing.
No, my dad did that. He taught me how to do it when I was about 6 or 7. They still had the machine in his office at People's Gas in Chicago. So he took me down there one day. He would take me to the office every now and again on his days off, just because he liked to show me off to all of his office worker buddies. Look, I've got a kid. And he showed
Get off there.
he showed me how to use the punch card machine. So I sat there for about 30 minutes just playing with the punch cards, doing exactly what I was supposed to do, putting the right punch cards in, getting the right punch cards out. And his boss came over and he said, Cal Dad, when did we get the new employee? And it's like, oh, this is my replacement. I just taught him how to do the machine. He's been working for the last half hour. You need to get him on salary.
That's the great thing. You can't learn
Not
computers
play with the
until you know the bit. And punch in the card, you can see that little circle, and that's a bit right there. You can see it. It's physical. And that's about as close as anybody ever got.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you guys know? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
Have any of you guys heard of a channel, Legally Armed America?
I
Yes.
have.
It rings a bell.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love watching him.
He did a video yesterday. The ending of it had me, I'm not going to lie, had me in tears. And I mean literal tears. I was bawling. And it was just one simple picture. It was a little girl. Up in North Carolina. Excuse me.
I know the
it's
picture
okay,
you're
bud.
talking about.
Yeah. If you've seen that video, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen this video yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, brother.
I'll go
it
check
ripped
it
my
out.
heart
when I'm
out.
here.
It'll rip out your heart, man. It'll rip out your heart.
It's got to be bad. I heard a story about 2 toddlers that got found that weren't reported as missing.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what that means? The parents are gone too. They just haven't been found.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a bad thing, man.
And it's a
terrible.
good thing they got found by the right people. A couple of unattended toddlers up in that area with FEMA crawling around.
God, yeah.
You know what would happen to them. We all know what would happen to them. We don't want to say it on camera, but we all
Yeah.
know.
In a bag
We
and
all know.
forgotten.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Some horrible, disgusting shit would happen to them. That would
Yeah.
piss everybody off.
Oh yeah.
You know? And I wouldn't doubt that's half the reason why FEMA is there. It wouldn't shock me at all. We find out 20, 30 years from now that there were, hundreds of kids that were just kidnapped up
Yep.
there because their parents were dead or parents were just barely alive and FEMA finished them off and then they stole the kids to be consumed.
Yeah.
We find that out. I'd be like, well, I knew it. I fucking knew it. There's your confirmation. That's why I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all.
I have a
They've
friend.
proven that they can't be trusted.
Go
Go
ahead.
right.
Go ahead,
I have a
Ryan.
mod friend that I mod with on the Next News Networks. He goes by Sure You Gospel. He's my moderator buddy. Well, he's also a coroner up in Virginia, and he's been getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of bodies, tractor trailers full bodies from there.
Chinooks.
Mm.
I've heard Chinooks. Lots of Chinooks.
Yep.
Um,
When you see the Chinooks
Only
flying up there,
alligator
that's what they're
to,
doing. They're transporting bodies.
exactly.
Our government doesn't want us to see how many people are dead,
Yep.
and the fact that they're not doing anything.
It's hard not to think that it's not intentional.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they have the resources. I mean, I don't want to hear about we don't have the money. Because we have the money. They can reallocate things. The speaker can just
They
Yeah.
can invent
Sounds-
money for crying out loud.
well, yeah, they can print
Do it any
money,
other
but
time.
they can reallocate money in a heartbeat. They can just say, okay, we're not sending money here. We're going to reallocate it here. They can do all that. I mean, it's not a shortage of money or resources. We have the resources. Like I said on Discord, I heard today that truckers don't have. I mean, usually they make bank when something like this happens. Being a trucker, if you're anywhere else in the country, you're looking up on the broker website and you're picking up those jobs that are moving like excavators.
Yep.
Water pumps to pump
Mhm.
places dry, water, any kind of supplies, anything.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
and you get, and usually it's like top pay government money that's paying you. So those guys are scooping
Yeah.
that up.
They're making
And
scale on it.
there's nothing going to North Carolina. Nothing.
Yep.
Not within
Yep.
like 150 miles.
Yep.
I mean, why not? These guys. I mean, even the truckers are like, we're baffled. We don't know. I'm sure they love making the money, but also they're helping out too. I mean, that's a win-win for a trucker. I'd be very happy to be a trucker, bring in an excavator or supplies or lumber or water or anything to help out with that aid. And there's just nothing. And these
Yeah.
guys are like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Why not?
I've heard the truckers are looking at. They're going to the brokers
Mhm.
and they're seeing loads ready and ready to go, and then all of a sudden they call in to pick that load up to come pick it up, and it's all taken care of or whatever their excuse is, but it's not there. It miraculously disappears.
Went somewhere else.
Mhm.
Maybe it was, they wanted to hide it because it's for equity purposes,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
taking it somewhere else, and they don't want to be known.
Oh yeah.
Instead of
You
just
want to talk?
letting us
Here's
help
a
everybody we can.
Here's a shot to the equity vow. And I got to say this, and then I'm probably gonna have to leave soon because I've got another person I mod for that's going to be starting soon, and I got to help them pregame. But anyway, here's another shot to the DEI equity vow. FEMA actually, I don't remember if it was on their website or where, and I said this morning. FEMA is concerned that local church groups providing aid in the wake of this disaster will discriminate against migrant trans women.
What?
Okay, yeah, okay. Let me
You made Ryan fucking
I heard about that.
God.
Okay, let me break that down just a little bit.
There
Let
you
me
go,
break
right
that down
there.
just a little bit first.
I heard about that. I heard about it. I know what you're talking
First of all,
I gotta mute
How many
myself. I'm
migrants-
listening now.
how many migrants are actually trans women? Number one.
Oh fuck.
Number two, why are they only concerned about trans women? What about trans men? Or for
Yeah.
those who are fans of Tim Waltz, trans horses. You know, there's all sorts of transformers out there. Why are they just focused on trans? That's awfully right. You know, let's flip the script on them. That's awfully bigoted of you just to worry about trans women. What is this? Trans men are suddenly invisible? You know, let's flip the script on you. You know, and then why just the migrant trans women? What about American citizens that are also trans women? Aren't they concerned about, you know, church groups discriminating against them? You know, the very statement that they made, even by their own rules, has so many delicious flaws in it. It's like, okay, knife and fork, let's carve this up. It's nice and juicy. Let's spread out the meat and then let's add the salt. Because let's go, you know, why don't we just go to one of the LGBTQ groups and say, hey, look, they're only worried about migrant trans women. What about you guys? You're American citizens, aren't you? Don't you think you consider yourselves American citizens? And at least some of them are going to say, yeah, I'm an American. I may be gay or, you know, trans or whatever, but I'm an American citizen, damn it. Why are they only worried about migrant trans women from these supposedly, you know, bigoted church groups? What about us? And then you go to the migrants and say, hey, they're only worried about migrant trans women. They're not worried about the rest of you that aren't trans women. Oh, what the hell? You know, we thought we were coming in to rob you gringos dry. What the hell are they worried about just the trans women for? I don't think there's any in our whole freaking group. You know, it's so much meat and salt you can spread around the table with that one statement. It was absolutely delicious to see them step in it that way. And if you're a troll like me, you may have already started doing something like that, just behind the scenes to certain people, just to stir the pot. But, you know, you'd have to be an absolutely degenerate troll like me in order to do something like that. There's nobody like me in this chat, is there?
You degenerate? No. Come on, Cal.
I don't know about that. But
I think Ryan
pure
has learned
blood.
me
Pure
well.
bread.
Ryan has learned me well.
Degenerate.
Oh, by the way,
Cal.
Ryan, before I duck out, I'll tell you right now, I am looking to move eventually, once I get some shit worked out in my private life, looking to move to the Morgantown area. And
He wants to have a homecoming gift and thingy with all of us there.
I'm just saying, I'm going to be making stops. So, you know, if you want to get together, I know you're in South Carolina, but I maybe drive down there just because I have the freedom to do so. If you want to, you know, meet up and we get to be better friends, you want to meet up and have a beer or something. Mind you, I don't drink, so it'll be coffee for me. I'll buy you the beer. You know what? I think we can hang out. I like you. You're awesome. All right, now, guys, I got to go.
Hold on,
Like
hold on,
Bruce.
hold on, Cal.
Yeah, I
Have a good
owe
one,
Jay.
Cal.
One thing,
Go ahead,
Cal.
Chris.
I have one
Go ahead,
thing
Chris.
for you.
Thanks,
My
Cal,
saying
man.
is,
Good to see you, bud. As always.
Those who stir the shit pot should lick the spoon.
I have a lot of things I could say that all of them would get me banned off of YouTube.
As long as I can watch everybody else eat from the same spoon, sometimes it's worth it.
But yeah, no, I owe Jay already. Jay and I are good buddies. He's my bro. Anyway, I will see you guys later.
All right, have a
remember
good
to
night,
make
Cal.
greenness.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap
Bye,
up.
Y'all
Cal.
take care.
Good to see you, bud.
Oh, now look who's on the
And now
Oh,
I'm
we got-
fucking. I'm all
we got
pixelated. What the fuck?
No, you
You are.
froze.
Son of a bitch. I'll be right back.
Yeah, he got some voodoo he can work over there. He'll come in, come back out, sneak it through the window.
He needs to
you
get a
know how-
Wi-Fi booster. He needs
Yeah.
to get a Wi-Fi booster. That'd probably help him a little bit.
I think
It's
well,
not that. I have
now I can see-
good Wi-Fi.
He did
It's
something.
Rumble.
I can't even see myself now. You did something. It was Cal. It was Cal. He burnt the bridge on the way out.
I see
That's
you
what I did.
moving fine.
Oh well, I can't see me. So if you can see me, that's good. If you can hear me,
Yeah, we
that's
can see you.
You're
All right,
moving- You're in the big block. now.
Yeah.
Big block. All right. Go me.
Yeah, you're over on the left. I'm up on the top right, and Chris is right
Hi,
down below
Andrew.
me.
I'm never
Andrew
on the left.
slid in.
But, I'm
Our buddy
west.
from Australia.
West, yeah. That's like I
Buddy
call
from
California friggin' left coast.
Right.
Left coast. Yeah.
Well,
That's
if you're
about
looking
right.
at Canada, it is.
But I do have a trucker buddy. He spends a lot of time going to the West Coast and back from Oklahoma, and he told me, most of the folks, just like anywhere, and like I've said, I've been to a lot of countries and stuff. Most of the regular folk are fine. People form their opinions and they think everybody's all bad and everything. If they're from a different county or a different state that you're in, but I mean, honestly, a lot of folks are the same. If you bring up politics, people can get into that and be upset and everything like that. But if you don't bring up politics, everybody's pretty much the same. We're just trying to work, pay our bills, provide for our families, and do the best we can for our kids.
Yep.
The problem is the people, on your TikTok and I don't know all the things. All the shit that I don't play around with, like the social media, pretty much. The people that put themselves out there are fucked up. I mean, they
Yep.
are insane.
I agree,
And,
100%.
And it gives them, and the social media platforms, they seem to give those people extra views. They push their content out a little bit more, so that it gives them a bigger voice. Just like the media, it's all one big scheme, and it makes people think that's how everybody is, but that's not the case. That's not how everybody is. Everybody's pretty much cool. It doesn't matter what side you're on. We just gotta start seeing things for how they are instead of listening to what the media and the social media is trying to tell us.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Friggin'
Well, and here's the other part of that is that a lot of times the only thing you see on social media is people posting the good parts of their lives. They don't post the bad shit that happens.
Yep.
And it gives some people that people are having a hard time and going through some shit. It makes them feel depressed because they think that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously no one's life is perfect.
No.
Well, I know mine's not.
My story ain't. Have you heard my story?
Not all of it. I've heard little bits and pieces here and there.
I've got a crazy ex-wife who fucks anything that moves.
Boy.
Well, she hadn't fucked me.
What?
Well, she hadn't fucked me.
That's only because you haven't met.
Well, damn it.
You wouldn't. I don't think you would go for her. I don't think she'd be your type there, Jay. I think you have better taste than that.
Kind of sounds like my first ex-wife.
Name wasn't Sherry, was it?
No. Her name was Catherine, and she. Fun fact: she met her second husband online, and we were out living in York, the town of York, here in York County, and he was all the way to hell over in Spain.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you were up here in York, Pennsylvania. I'm like, really? You're that close to me, huh?
Nope. Damn it! Stop that. Can you see yourself now?
I can't.
Now.
All
Now
I
I'm
did was
froze,
hit
right?
the video. All I did was hit the video and the microphone again to reset it.
Yeah,
There you go. But no, she met him online and they hooked up and stuff. I'm like, the fuck? We'd already been, quote, separated. She left me and whatever. And Yeah. And we got divorced. And yeah, bitch took me to the fucking cleaners. I ended up losing.
You said
Fuck,
something
I
wrong
could
with them.
pay for it. You're froze again, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the club, Ryan. You're not the only one.
Yeah, I ended up getting screwed. I mean, hard. Friggin' when I say she took me to the cleaners, I was paying an astronomical amount of child support for one kid. One. And
Of course, there's damn women. Well,
Yeah.
I know,
She
I
should
know
know.
some shitty men out there too. For
yeah. Oh, I know a bunch of shitty men too. But man,
Yeah.
some of them damn women are just duh. But yeah, she
Yes.
I
It's
finally
good
got my
judges.
child support paid off. Like this was back during Trump's term, probably about halfway through, and I noticed once I did that, fuck, I had at one point I had over $5,000 in my account, in my bank account. I built this freaking put the roof on this section of porch where I sit outside. And I went through about 3,000 just doing that. And it's not even a big roof. It's just everything that culminates with it. Flashing, the roofing tiles, that and the other wood, and then the work, and all the hardware. Nuts. But I went through almost $3,000 doing that. I'd rather spend $3,000 on that than end up getting screwed on something else or having shit taken out of my taxes. Oh my God, FEMA, fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
I try
think
to
I
do it
would be
myself.
saying that to them because they'll take that as an invite.
Yeah, right. Well, they're already hitting me hard in taxes anyway.
I'm fortunate.
I don't want to say what I want to say here, you know, about the IRS, you know. But
Well, I can say, fuck you, IRS.
oh, I can say that too, but I can tell
And it's
you
legally, so fuck you guys. I'm not cheating. It's all legal, so go
Yep.
fuck yourselves.
Hang on a second here. I'll be right. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just gonna, yeah.
Y'all
I
are
don't
in
know
trouble
if it-
now.
Huh?
That's all. I'm just giving you fair warning. Y'all are in trouble now.
I'm already on a damn watch list that don't fucking make a bit of damn
I'm
difference.
not talking government.
What?
I ain't talking government.
What?
Oh, well, enlighten us, please, sir.
Oh, you'll
I
see in
don't like a
second.
tease only for a minute, and then I'm done.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. Uh-oh. There he goes again.
Oh, he's hitting that bong or something over there.
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yep.
it is.
He goes, yep.
Oh shit.
Why
Excuse me,
the hell
guys.
can't I get my damn chat?
You sound like a guy they used to call Iron Lung until you weren't.
Damn women.
Cora.
Hey, Cora.
Hi, honey. How are you?
It's about damn time you came and saw me.
I know. I miss you, Bam Bam.
I know you
Sure.
did, and it took you long enough, but you do like to be teased and tease me.
Ow.
Yeah, I know. It's good for us.
Yeah, you gotta warm it up like a locomotive.
Yeah, there you go. Just smooth it out. There you go.
That's right. You gotta prime it and everything. You gotta spit on it sometimes.
Throw some sand on it? Is that what you're saying?
Do what? Huh?
Said like a
Who?
locomotive. In order to
Yeah,
get
so-
started, they throw sand on the track.
Stand on the track. You gotta spit
I
on it
wasn't-
and everything.
I wasn't thinking about sand, but
You said you like it rough. Don't get much
Probably not
rougher
that
than that.
rough.
sometimes okay, I'm guilty. It is what it is. pull my hair and kiss me like you mean it.
Nothing worse than sex on the beach when you don't have something down that
Oh, that
protects
sucks. That sucks.
Bro.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
hey,
not. No,
if you didn't pull off or rub off some hair, you didn't do it right.
that's
Ow.
right. Damn it.
Ouch, that shit hurt. Been there,
I,
done
ne-
that.
I need to
Miami
turn
Beach,
off. I need to
1985. No, thank you.
hold.
I remember
I
the
need
year.
to turn the sound down.
Oh yeah, I hear us all the way up there.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. There, that's better.
Like I always say, if you're still if you have need to have if you're smoking after sex, you need to use more lube.
Something. All I know is I had my back end. Oh God, what year was it?
Yes, Thomas, that is true.
79, maybe. I met a friend that was damn Navy man. I don't know what the hell.
Man.
That was in the Navy,
So he liked it both ways.
and and we decided to go skinny dipping. You know, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And fucking lifeguards stole our clothes. We were running through town naked, trying to get back to the hotel room. They were flying on the flagpole the next morning.
I would have beaten the fucking lifeguard's ass.
Right?
Yeah,
I would want
it
to
is
do
what it
every single fucking one of them.
is. It is what it is. We had fun. I was a cute, thin, hard belly back then, so it didn't matter.
Yes, Andrew or Thomas, it is true. It is a loan. One thing that I think I'm going to try and work out is setting up a Give Send Go because I don't fucking trust GoFundMe, and seeing if we can get that set up to set up a trust for the people down there that if they do get the FEMA grant, we help to make sure they get it paid back so they don't lose their land. I'm gonna look into what we can do about that. Getting that set up. I'll make some phone calls.
All hell's about to break loose.
I know that. I know that sigh, Cora.
What sign?
The one you just made after I said
Oh.
that. Cora's like, you son of a bitch, you did it again to me.
It is what it is. I'm making coffee. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we'll talk. There's another one.
Another one.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Ooh.
By the way, I love your hat, Jay.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, actually, I bought this 2019. 2020, and I even got my I voted sticker on there.
Nice.
But we know how that worked out.
Yeah, this ain't a Chevy hat, or this ain't a Trump hat. That's a Chevy hat.
Oh,
My
well,
work
that's just as good, you know. I'm a GM guy.
Well, funny thing is, I work at a GM dealership. That's why I have that. But I drive a Ford.
Well, I had my hot rod back in the day was a '65 Ford Mustang, so.
Oh yeah.
And I did like that 289. That thing. It was a fun little car. I ended up selling it once we had 4 kids, and
Well, yeah. Got nowhere to put the kids.
you know, we had a 3-car garage. I had all the space for it. I just got talked into selling it because it wasn't very economical, and I
that could have
sold it.
just been the weekend play toy. Come on, man.
It
Again.
was.
Again.
I got talked into it.
Again, damn women.
Yeah, damn women. She talked me into it, and we spent the money on a vacation and like stuff for the kids.
Oh.
Yeah,
I look
and
exactly what you
then-
do on the car.
And then
You'll
after,
never see that car again.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely not. And then 2 months after I sold that car for $12,000, I sold that car and I received my back pay from my claims from the VA and got 100% disabled and got $32,000 in the in my bank account, and we paid
Nice.
off all of our debt. I paid off my truck. I paid off her car, and we were sitting pretty good. And then not long after that, we were splitting up.
Yeah. Damn.
It's one of those things, man. The only thing I could say is, with the way everything has worked out, my what's the word I'm looking for? My comfort that I get is my choices over the last 8 years, 9 years since we got divorced. I'm doing well. I got land, I got a house, I got everything figured out. I'm not living beyond my means. I never really have. I'm not a rich guy. I just live off my disability. And she's making twice as much as I do, and she seems to be broke all the time. I
Wow.
don't know where she spends it all. It's not my business, but
I'll never understand that.
I don't either. It seems like I buy most of the clothes. I know I buy most of the clothes and everything else. I don't know where
You
she's
see
going.
the bottom of that?
I hope she's
Chris,
saving it all.
Show me that. Show me the bottom of that jug.
The bottom.
Yeah. Show me the bottom. Okay. I thought the chocolate wasn't all mixed up. I'm sorry. My bad. Okay. Continue, Jay. I'm sorry.
I think that was.
I saw that and it bothered me.
I don't want to talk too much about it. It's her business and mine. It's just.
Yeah.
It's funny It's funny how things go over the years, and
Yeah.
something I try to remind myself is, for years I blamed her for my problems, and before my dad died, he told me, it'd been like 5 years after a certain incident, a major incident happened, and we were already split up and everything. He's like, "How long has it been since that happened?" And I'm like, "God, it's been like 5 years." And he's like, "And you're still blaming her for your problems." And
Go, Dad.
that really smacked me in the face, because it's like, hey, yeah, you're right. There's only so much time after you have control of what's happening to you that you can really blame the other person. I've been in charge for long enough. I can't blame anybody but myself. That's the magic of being by yourself, is you can only blame yourself. And it really brings you, it really centers you and makes you realize, it's all in my control or not. Like it's all up to me.
I have basically been single for all intents purposes since 2015. I'm going to say,
Me
because
too. October.
that's about the
2015.
year. Within that year is when my second wife left me.
Mhm.
She moved out and she just started staying with her family and stuff like that, other family members and stuff. And that left me with the house we were renting and all that shit and all the other crap that was in the fucking house. And she couldn't take any of it. She didn't take most of her shit, and it stayed in the house. Well, I get booted from the house. I end up living with
Standard.
some acquaintance that I knew where I used to live over in another section of town. She had a little tiny trailer out behind her house.
Was
So I
that a
stayed-
friend with benefits?
No, hell no. I wouldn't tag that with Obama's dick. But
We're choking
no,
over here now.
I stayed out in that back shed for probably 2 months. It was me and my dog. No AC.
No, the pot to
fucking
piss in
horrible.
is what they.
It was
Did
horrible.
it get you?
Well,
It bit you back, didn't it?
it hit hard. And
Oh,
Oh no, I'm
Jay
sorry.
got hit hard.
No, this little shit got bit back. He bit my power cord.
whoops. But no,
Bastard.
friggin'. So I lived out there for a couple months. I'm like, all my shit was still at the house. And I'm like, I gotta get some of that stuff out of there and start putting it in storage and get, whatever. So on my days off, I'd go over there and pull stuff out of the house and take it to storage. I lost a shit ton of stuff in storage. I lost everything else in the fucking house. Tools, my stereo, fucking TVs, everything gone. Just,
Yep.
And that son of a bitch fucking stole all my shit.
Yep.
And put everything else out on the fucking road. Like, here's all your shit in the house. No. Where's my TV, my stereo, my tools? That cocksucker took them all.
Well, when you didn't claim them during the divorce, they became hers.
Oh,
That's
no.
right.
The second, no, this was my second marriage where she left me. The guy
Not a
who
fast
owned the
learner?
house took all my shit. Yeah. So I lost all that. I lost family heirloom pictures and stuff like that gone. I had I think a 332 bullet casing with a jade shaped bullet on the end with my brother's ashes inside it. Gone. Never see it again.
Yep, those are those small things that you lose during that type of thing. I lost a lot of those myself.
Yeah. It's rough, man. Damn it, Chris. Stop hopping around on me.
Yeah, it's hopping around. I still see. Yeah, you guys are back in there. Actually, I can see all you now, so it's fixed.
All right, I'm covering my camera. Well, I'm going to try to cover my camera.
Well, actually,
What are you
I guess-
gonna
I
do?
guess- I guess
Because I'm going
Ryan's,
to stand up, and I don't want you all to have my junk in your face. I mean,
Oh,
as
good
much as
idea.
that-
Cover the camera. Cover it up. Cover it up.
As much as you would enjoy it.
Oi. Here, I'll even cover his section of the screen.
Mom says we got to take a walk.
I am walking.
Well, she says the sunset's really
Night,
beautiful.
Jamie. Take care.
Bye,
Jamie,
Jamie.
See you, Jamie.
All right, Jamie, be safe. Have a good night. Love you.
Yeah, I try to say that, Andrew.
Somebody shooting
Yeah.
out there. You guys hear it?
I hear
I
that.
hear it.
Sounds like a pistol for sure.
Uh-huh. Here's my
Sounds
cover.
Yeah, two people on walkabout.
Yeah, we're gonna head back here to the field. Actually, I'm gonna disappear for a second, switch over to my Wi-Fi on my phone, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Because I know if I walk back there without changing over to the Wi-Fi, it's gonna say "F you, bye bye," and fuck everything up again. So
Fuck, there's a fire. There's a
Fire?
fire back here. Damn it.
I'm guessing it's not a planned fire.
How are the winds?
Wasn't from me.
Can you
All
see
right.
it, or can you see it and smell it?
I
I
see
see
it
it.
dead center of her screen. A little flickering right in the middle.
Yep.
It looks pretty calm. Probably a neighbor burning off something.
No, I think that's on the back of. I don't know if that's on the back of my acre or not.
I would assume so. Looks like it seems pretty calm there, like it is here. They're probably burning off something. I always take pictures. When I notice it, I'll take a picture just to have for my records. If something gets out of control,
I think maybe.
for insurance reasons, but it looks like it's probably okay. If you can't smell it, that's a good thing, because if you could see it and smell it, it means it's coming your way.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
was sitting here earlier, and just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, a big whiff of burning grass goes by me like burning brush. I jump a look. I'm like, what the hell? I'm looking around, and the neighbors to my right, through the woods, had a little brush fire going.
Yeah, well, I encounter that all the time. Everybody
Yeah.
does
Well, I
homesteading.
mean, I live out in the county, and that's common. Everybody, shit, got neighbors burn their trash and
I
freaking.
mean, this is my country. I live in. I mean, I got a burn pile there. I'm about to start it up, but I
Yeah.
mean, this is pretty much. Oh shit! It's
Watch
what
your
it looks.
step.
It's what it looks like around here. I didn't break my phone. That's great.
Yay.
But it's country. People
We hear
got a
you, Chris.
homestead. I can
Am I
only
not
see.
showing up?
I can
Nope.
only see Boyd over there.
Not yet.
Nope. Cora's black. Black screen.
No, that's Chris.
Oh, that's Chris.
Chris is black.
Oh, okay. I'm like, damn. And now, Jay, now you're froze.
Yeah. Something's fucked up.
I think I'm gonna run over to my neighbors and see if they're burning shit in the backyard.
Well,
Because that's awful close
If they are
to.
yelling at them, tell them that they should have fucking called.
That's awful close to my back acre.
what time is it? Let's see what time.
7:15.
7:15.
6:15
East
your
Coast.
time, Jay.
Should I play a movie tonight or?
Yeah, we're gonna hop off here in a couple minutes. I'm just gonna come over here and get you guys the sunset before we do.
Cool.
Especially considering you can
probably
see the
Do a
planet.
movie
you
at
can
7
see the-
again.
That's fine. Especially considering you can see the moon and some. I think there's a planet behind it. I don't know. It might be a plane. It's a big ass plane now.
It's a UFO,
But this
man.
is
If I don't
next-
know what it is, it's a UFO. It's
A UFO?
Where's Dave?
As far as I'm
Where's
concerned.
Dave?
Wow,
Dave's
that's pretty.
UFOs.
That's very pretty.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
see the moon though.
That could almost be a fucking picture.
The moon is
It could
right
be.
above. You see the light on that barn?
Yeah.
The moon is
The moon is
directly above
just
it.
north of it, or just
You can
above it.
just
That's so
barely
cool.
see it.
Yeah. Wow.
Let me go out
I'll,
this way further because it's even better.
Well, get
I
up
would
on the
go
horizon.
Well, I would go up the fucking road, except these little assholes run out in the road and follow me.
Careful.
Well, I'm on my property. They're not going out in the road over here. That's why I come down here because I can still get you a good view without going out in the road. All right, we'll start here and we'll pan it.
Yeah, I plan on taking a couple of my pew-pews out to the power lines tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I can't see chat, so.
I can't either. I'm running to the neighbors here.
Yeah, I'm kind of holding off on shooting. I put some corn out.
Welcome to your country.
I know where I'm shooting. I just hope these other guys that keep shooting don't scare them off. I know usually everybody around here is sighting in rifles right now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know the guy that is shooting right now is shooting a handgun. I know who he is.
Yeah.
But usually we're pretty polite, and by the time black powder, which is coming, and rifle season comes around, we have an understanding, like not to scare off the deer.
I'm leaving you guys here for a minute. If you're not here when I get back, then I'll see you later.
All right, be safe, Cora.
Alrighty. Oh, I got my friend with me.
Yeah, you better.
Hopefully, it's a good friend.
Best friend she can
I
have.
hear that gunfire in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the new neighbor. He's new to the
I got a
neighborhood. He hadn't
fucking-
learned to.
Bug on my neck.
I haven't been down there to talk to him yet, but I know who it is.
Okay.
I got about 8 or 9 neighbors that border my property. So I know all of them except for this guy. And I actually reached out to him, and he hadn't responded. So I might have to go down there on a 4-wheeler sometime.
Say, hey, how you doing? I'm your neighbor.
Yeah,
to meet
well, or I could hang a target at my 500-meter target, which is right next to his property, and shoot down the high line, which is what you're talking about. That's the way we do it. I have 2 ranges, but my 3, 4, and 5-meter target, 500-meter target, is on the high line, so it's right next to his property. Maybe I just take my SASS out there and start lobbing
I
308.
If I try setting up a 500-meter target on this power line, I would hit a power substation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Could
yeah,
I
that's
leave you
not
guys
happening.
with music?
I'm pretty lucky in that sense because I'm shooting like through
Oh
a
hell, I
valley.
didn't even realize that was on.
I didn't either. I wasn't paying too much attention. We was busy talking.
Oh, well, that's good
Yeah, I don't think
because
we
it
could
was
really
kind of
hear it.
playing, and I thought, well, damn, I left music on for him.
A little ambiance.
Yeah, well, as long as they can't make it out and can copyright us.
Oh, they can't. I mean, well, with us talking over it, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they were gonna hear anything.
nah.
Yeah, but boy,
I can barely
it'd be
hear it in
very
the
fun to
background.
shoot. It'd
Huh?
be very fun, but you'd have to be confident to come to my range because there are neighbors.
Yeah.
So if
If
you
I
can't-
drive to Oklahoma, can I shoot on your range?
yeah,
Okay. I was
I'll
going to say, you
teach
got
you how if
40
you don't
acres
know.
out there. I
I'll teach you how
know.
if you don't know.
Okay, I don't know how you teach
it-
me.
If you can't pass the 200-yard range, you're not going to the 500.
All right.
That's the rule around here.
All right.
Yeah. I have 6.5 Creedmoor
Yeah,
sniper
you
rifle. That
mentioned
thing is it's sighted in at 1,000 yards. I don't need anything sighted in at 1,000 yards. You can't see 1,000 yards out in this neck of the woods. I mean, you could if you're like on high ground or whatever, and like what, but the trees and stuff around here, you ain't gonna see 1,000 yards.
Well, if you want to be realistic, you better be sighted in. Zeroed is what we say. Zeroed at 50.
Yeah. Well, it's zeroed in at 1,000 yards. I didn't set it. It was set at 1,000 yards when I bought it. Oh, excuse me, when it was gifted to me.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. I don't want to get technical, but that seems like a stretch.
What?
Zeroed in at 50 or zeroed in 1,000.
That's what he said. He goes, oh, not zero, but set at 1,000. I'm like,
it could shoot 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it'll definitely shoot 1,000 yards.
You definitely wouldn't zero one at 1,000. You can dial it in, but if it was gifted to you, and maybe I don't want to be rude, man, but you wouldn't say that something's set to 1,000 yards.
I know. Well,
we could definitely get you dialed in.
Why would anything need to be sighted in at 1,000 yards?
Right.
Unless you're like,
I mean, you got guys that are like, yeah, I can shoot 1,000 yards, and I've done it.
Yeah, I'll probably never see 1,000 yard shot.
Never. Even if you could hit 1,000 yards, it's with a 6.5 Creedmoor, it's not going to be very effective.
No.
Against very much at all.
Yeah.
You're basically at 1,000 yards with the Creedmoor, you're getting close to terminal velocity, which is basically like how much damage something can do as it's falling through free space.
Yeah.
It's going to have a little bit more than that, obviously, It might still have some spin, but I mean, you're just hitting the target at that range.
Yeah.
It's not really like effective at that range.
Yeah. 1,000 yards, you're losing velocity by the time you hit that. So
You'd have to shoot. Well, I mean, a 308 at 500 meters drops 5 feet.
yeah,
So, like a 6.5 Creedmoor, I think, drops about 4 feet. So, I mean, you're really getting out there and losing a lot of energy. So, yeah, like I was saying, set your rifles to 50, and then you can measure it out from there. I mean, for hunting and stuff like that, you could set it up to 500 yards. I wouldn't take a shot at 500 yards at anything.
yeah,
If I wanted to kill it, because there's just too many variables.
yeah,
I had a buddy that used a 270, which is my favorite hunting rifle to hunt deer with, but I don't really want to shoot further than 200 yards. And I know I talked about yards and meters, so it's not a huge difference, but it's measurable by a little bit. But I wouldn't shoot much more than 200 yards with the 270 because they're really hot. But after a few hundred yards, they're petering out really quick. It's light round, stuff like that. So, I digress. I'm getting way too far into it, but
that's all right. I'm kind of a noob to the whole
Froze
rifle
up again,
thing.
huh?
right. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting that feeling. I'm just kind of laying out some things. You
Yeah.
got 6.5. That's great. Those are great rifles. I would realistically shoot for, has spider on me. Ooh, I'm trying to kill him. Okay, he bailed. Okay, so I would realistically use that 6.5 within 300 yards.
Yeah,
Beyond that, it's not going to be really great for, downing a big deer or an elk.
yeah,
Past that,
not at that distance.
yeah, you can hit a target. They're great for hitting targets,
Yeah,
and that's what they're known for.
yeah.
A
But if
lot
you
of
want to
rifles
take
can.
like a big animal down, you need to be a little closer than 500.
Right, definitely. You get it.
Oh yeah,
And like,
closer than
like,
100.
and like I showed on Discord, I mean, I got the 458 SOCOM. I got all that kind of big shit. But you gotta know the limitations. I mean, if you want to be realistic, anybody can shoot a target. I can make a mark in a piece of paper at distance, but how far can it really be effective?
Yeah. Where are you going to hit on that sheet? Whatever target. As opposed to how far you are and what's the drop and where you got to. Yeah.
Windage.
See, that's all stuff.
Oh,
Windage
shit.
stuff that I got to get to know.
Well,
Do you guys, do you guys know it's already 7:30 over here on my time?
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
still
wrap
have
up here in a
battery.
second.
All
I have the perfect thing to wrap us up here.
right, shoot, because it's about time.
My friend Gumu on Discord, who by the way is a leftist. Just remember that.
All right.
Hi, kitty.
Nope.
Posted
Welcome.
this. He said, "Don't laugh at kids that believe in the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. There's still adults who believe in Harris."
Right.
Ah,
All right,
like
guys.
that.
Thanks for letting me crash the party.
Okay.
oh, you're always welcome.
Part of
As
the
long as you're
party.
bringing some of that home cooked food.
Do
Hi,
what,
kitty,
Jay?
kitty.
I said you're always welcome as long as you're always bringing some home cooked food.
All right, hon. Anytime. Anytime.
I knew you would.
Hey, Ryan, Jay, Cal, Cora, thank you all for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. Hanging out with us, I should say. And you're all welcome anytime, you know that. Just let me
It's
know when
always
you want
nice
to join.
to have people to chat with.
Always
Well,
nice to
that's
see
what
some
this is
faces.
about. It's,
Yeah.
You know,
I
Ryan,
can't do this
not
by
everybody is
myself.
crazy.
Oh, we're
Speak for
crazy
yourself.
just in different ways.
Speak
Different
for
ways.
yourself, Jay.
I'll give you my crazy eyes.
All right,
Oh,
guys.
yes,
Toodles.
that was right.
You can't see
All
mine
right,
with his
take care,
glasses
Mark.
on.
Hasta
All
luego.
right, I'm gonna find
My freaking
a
eyeballs
good
are
movie
so
to play.
damn big.
All righty. Bye, guys.
Take
Bye.
care, everybody.
All
Good
right.
to see you.
Hey, take care. Nice meeting you for the first time on here, Ryan.
Oh, yeah,
hope it's
definitely.
The last.
Oh,
And,
we'll be. Probably not.
all righty. I'll
All right.
hold you up to
I'm gonna
that.
get us banned. I'm gonna say Trump 2024. There you go.
All right, bud.
I'll see you
Hey,
All
later.
right, Joe. You have a good
so you're gonna
night,
put a
Joe.
movie on then?
I
Hi,
am.
Phil.
I'm shooting for 7. I'm gonna find something good.
Okie dokie. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Bye.
Deuces.
All right, we're out.
Bye.
Peace, y'all. Later.